Hey everybody, you are tuning in to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. Audition is recording, the text message is going out. We are ready for another great show. Thanks for being here on a Friday. It's always a special group showing up on Fridays for the live, and we're glad you guys are here. Well, we got a great show for you. Big announcement. We'll also be announcing it during the show, but for you pre-stream folks, if you head on over to CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com, it is announced for those of you who receive our emails. Check your inbox. If you don't see it, check the spam folder and make sure to whitelist our email there. But you'll see some of the new and exciting things that are going to be in this next supply drop. It's one of the most, so far it really is the most exciting supply drop. Dang, should I save it? Should I not save it? You guys, you get well, these are Gonz's telling me to save it, but you guys are the secret pre-show people. Well, here's what I will tell you pre-show people. There are a limited number of promo items that we have, just some overstock from previous supply drops, and we'll be giving them out as bonus gifts for those who sign up to the Canary Cry supply drop before September 1st. This includes the Tweet Hungry Boys ape, the challenge coins, stuff like that. We have leftover stuff, but if you have not been a supply dropper before, you kind of feel bad you missed out on the apron or the challenge coin. If you sign up, it's first come, first serve, folks. So head on over to CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. Sign up for the supply drop. You will get the new items that'll be coming next month, as well as a secret special bonus item from some of the previous supply drops. Okie dokie, go sign up now. You can find that at canarycry.party or just head on over to canarycrysupplyDrop.com. Okay, let's get this show started.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. We are live to tape August 19th, 2022. This is episode 524, and today, a POX on, POX off. And razzle dazzle, I'm your best buddy Basil.
And my name is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, aka the Cabana Boy, live from California, here to serve you a podcast that brings the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. Today's emergent phenomena is Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
And with that, I think it's time for a little rundown.
Yes, run it down.
Running it down, folks. Well, of course, we're going to be starting off with another Called It, baby. We told you so. The mainstream media comes out with the truth about monkeypox. Then we'll be checking in with FLIPPY. Honestly, another called it. One of our first theories about the robotic arms and VR specifically coming true in a new competition to roboticists. Then we're going to be checking in with SHILLZILLA, and more specifically his arch nemesis, Ron Stelter over there at CNN. Ron DeSantis picking up steam. We'll be checking out his latest Florida man debacles. Then after the break, we're going to be checking in with Bill Gates. This is very sort of individual focused, a personality focused show, but Bill Gates has been a busy boy recently. We'll check and see if you guys had heard about some of that. Zuckerberg making another whoopsie doodles, and then later on, of course, the pandemic special. We'll be checking in, trying to see which new disease will win the competition for deadliest scary thing coming up in the news. Then, of course, a little AI update, and Antarctica again positioning itself as the future of humanity. But first, Gons, we told you so.
Yes, you sped up at the end there, so I was showing screenshots, and now I have to. Yeah, it's a quick thing. All right, yeah,
that's okay.
Let's do it.
And now.
Well, Gons, we called it. We called it once again. And, even before monkeypox was the sort of media sensation that it is now, when it was just a twinkling in the eye of the lizard people, this new monkeypox contagion, it was obvious that the mainstream media was going to have just a tough time with this one. Since then, we have continued to document, just how tough of a time it really is. But it seems like some are starting to give in. Some in the mainstream are starting to give in to the fact that the science does not care about their virtue signaling. This is coming from NBC News, NBCnews.com. And the headline, "Sex between men, not skin contact, is fueling monkeypox. New research suggests." Wah, wah.
New research, not old research.
No,
or old
new
logic.
Isn't it funny how all their new research just always tends to confirm what we've known all along? And it goes something like this. Since the outset of the global monkeypox outbreak in May, public health and infectious disease experts have told the public that the virus is largely transmitting through skin-to-skin contact, in particular during sex between men. Okay. Yes, okay. It is a type of skin-to-skin. Now, however, an expanding cadre of experts. Look, Gons, we knew what the experts are just finding out. Now, however, an expanding cadre of experts has come to believe that sex between men itself. There's some words in here. Not sure for a family show. Both kinds of sex between men itself, is what I'll say, is likely the main driver of global monkeypox transmission. The skin contact that comes with sex, these experts say, is probably much less of a risk factor. So they're not even saying the skin contact that happens during the act has anything to do with it. It is very specifically the intercourse that is making it happen.
It's a tough topic to do at the top of the show.
It is a tough
for a family-friendly program. But I guess what they're trying to say is it's still skin to skin. It's just different kinds of skin.
No, that's exactly the opposite. They're saying, it isn't skin to skin. Even during intercourse, it is not the skin to skin contact that is spreading it.
It is not the skin at all.
Now, if you're a new listener,
okay,
up at the top here, we just are here to help you get an idea of, if you listen to this show, just how far ahead of the game you are. We called this back in May. But for what? May, June, July, 3-4 months, the mainstream media has been trying to convince the world against their own science. Convince the world that, it has nothing to do with the sexual expressions of the individuals. It is simply skin-to-skin contact. And they've been talking about, you can get it from a towel, you can get it from a hug, you can get it from bed sheets, things like this, trying to make it sound easy to do.
Sure.
But this study, straight up, reporting mainstream news, NBCnews.com, the skin-to-skin is much less of a risk factor, even skin-to-skin during intercourse. In recent weeks, a growing body of scientific evidence, including a trio of studies, 3 studies published in peer-reviewed journals, as well as reports from national, regional, and global health authorities, has suggested that experts may have framed monkeypox's typical transmission route precisely backward. Precisely backward.
There's multiple layers to that phrasing there. I mean, just
oh, you silly goose! You stop it, you little rascal.
It's just hilarious that
there's so many things.
This.
So, first of all, of course, this was obvious to us from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we also predicted the mainstream media's sort of
put in
visceral,
a corner, how are they going to shift it around? Well, looks like they're just going to have to admit it. Public
displays of media dry heaving over trying to, communicate that it has nothing to do with the sexuality of the individuals. And 3 studies, as well as reports from around the world, saying that it is exactly opposite of what they've been trying to say. And that is why independent media like ours is so important, because everybody else who relies on the mainstream news to get their truth was literally being lied to with the exact opposite facts of the truth. Thanks to NBC News.
Well, it says growing body of scientific evidence. So, listen to Fauci, people.
Science is truth.
Yeah. Fauci himself was saying that it had nothing to do with intercourse. It was all hugs.
Was he
It was
really?
all towels.
I don't remember that.
Every single public health expert was saying
okay, well, maybe that's part of the whole reset. They're just really helping expose the actors that they want us to tear down.
Maybe. And it goes on, and it goes on with more explicit quotations.
Yeah,
I'll just give you, I will give you the summation.
Okay.
The summary of all the expert quotes here in a mainstream article is saying that it spreads in the same way of a sexual transmitted disease, sexually transmitted infection. Remember, headline after headline after headline after headline. Monkeypox is not an STD. Monkeypox is not an STI. It is nothing. You're a bigot if you say so. And suddenly now, turns out the bigots had it right all along.
Yeah. Well,
there's a nice clip for you, Susan. Now,
yes,
Don, before you move on.
Yes, I need you to.
You're trying to move on. Okay.
I know.
Now, the next headline that we are going to read is simply a headline, just no connection whatsoever. We are not making any inferences. We are not making any suggestions. We are simply a mainstream media analysis and deconstruction podcast. These headlines showed up next to each other. We are not making any statement, and any connection that anybody makes between these two headlines is responsible for their own interpretation. We are simply reporting the news. So we had the NBC article here. Sex between men, not skin contact, is fueling monkeypox, new research suggests. Unrelated, and we're moving on after this. CNN.com, first possible case of human-to-dog monkeypox transmission. Not surprising. Who says? Not surprising. I don't know what the connection is there. There's no connection, in fact. I'm stating it outright. Just two headlines, one including human-to-dog monkeypox transmission. CNN.com, not a weird blog, not InfoWars, CNN.com. And with that, Gons, it's time to celebrate because it is Friday.
Okay. I did have this other jingle here ready to go, but
Okay.
you didn't set me up very well for it.
Oh, I didn't know what jingle you had. Go ahead, play it.
Yeah, okay.
Careful opening the closet, because that's where the evil monkeypox lives. Monkeypox.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
Come on.
My tabs are all messed up now because of
I'm sorry.
situation.
I'm sorry about
I'm not
your
blaming
tabs.
you. I'm not blaming
No,
you.
I
It's
know.
just today you switch it up on. What is this? It's
see.
Friday.
We're moving at
Are we
different speeds.
Yeah,
This show
well-
is what's going on.
Yeah, so it's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. You gonna learn today?
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit.
Are you not entertained?
Every day is Friday. All right, Guns. Well, thank God it is Friday. I'm excited for the weekend, especially because this beautiful piece of Americana came across our desk here. This is an article from metro.co.uk, and the headline, Boys named Epic, Rustin, and Landry battle it out in U.S. Mullet Championship. Yeah, that's right. The championships are this weekend, folks. The Mullet Champion, specifically the Youth Mullet Championships. And this really inspired me. For those who listen to Ravel, if you listen to I believe it was our Mother's Day episode where I spoke with my mother on the podcast, you got to hear all about my very cool mullet that I had as a kid. And I'm glad it's coming back. I'm not going to read this article, but I did want to point out some true contenders for the Youth Mullet Championship. The first one is Epic from La Jolla, Texas. A very stylish mullet, very stylish kid. He's got the fast glasses on. He's got the classic kind of like messy stand-on end hair in the front, the shorter section. Nice, majestic flow in the back. He's got his Hawaiian shirt on, which really brings the whole ensemble together. Good job and good luck, Epic. Now, they got some other kids in here, some nice solid mullets, but I want to bring your attention to Brock from Douglas, Georgia. And Brock from Douglas, Georgia is a man on a mission. He's got he's showing up with a true classic business in the front, nice coiffed, clean cut in the front. He's got some stripes in the side of the mullet, and the back really reminiscent of an Alan Jackson sort of wavy, almost curly, blonde, silky, flowing waterfall of mullet in the back. He's got his Viper glasses on. He's got his vaporwave kind of 80s themed
with triangles
Hawaiian
that match
shirt.
The triangle shapes on his shirt, his Hawaiian 80s style shirt there, retro wave, matches the stripes on the side of his head. This is very,
his haircut's matching the shirt. He's wearing a silver chain. And really, when it comes to Brock, it's all about attitude. He's confident without being smug, and he's owning it. I think Brock has got my vote. There's some other great ones in here, but I want to also bring your attention down to Jameson from Delaware, Ohio.
I don't like these the front comb. Those are not doing it for me.
Yeah, that's sort of a modern take, really taking the business in front seriously. Now, go down a couple more to Jameson from Delaware, the youngest member, it seems. If you want to know what your old buddy Basil looked like as a kid, Jameson is it. Spitting image of how I lived many years as a young boy. beautiful mullet. His hair's still kind of coming in. He's real young. This kid must be about 2 or 3. The Viper glasses barely fit on his head. But, I see a very bright future. He's got his rubber ducky Hawaiian shirt, and I'm enjoying it very much. It is sort of making me think, Gons. Making me think it might be time for a change-up to actually commit to a full mullet in real life. This is very inspiring to me.
That's good. Yeah, these mullets are pretty impressive.
Most of them. Yeah.
I did have a semi mullet, but I don't think I went full board. There's some photos with the long. I think you could walk in any kind of haircut place back then. They just give you one.
Go down to Rustin. Are you seeing Rustin?
Did I skip Rustin?
Rustin, I don't know how to describe Rustin, except for his hair is very straight. He's got an extremely straight mullet in the back, just straight down. And they're taking his picture next to making him look like he's changing a tire on a tractor.
I don't know if this is.
I think that's the most authentic mullet in the bunch. He's not trying to show off. He's not trying to make a fashion statement. This is just his life.
Okay, I think this is fake hair back here.
You think so?
Yeah,
you think he got some extensions installed?
Yeah, I get the vibe, because when you're that young, it's not that easy to grow hair like that. It's just, I don't know.
Pageant, the pageant moms, pageant dads, maybe there's a pageant dad here who brought his son in for some extensions to really beef up his chances here. It's a $2,500 grand prize for the best mullet in the youth mullet championships.
Check out Levi. Ooh.
I'm sticking with Brock, man. Sticking with Brock. Brock's my boy, and I hope he brings it home.
Okay. Well, I think this is what initiates the return of Jesus. He looks down and he goes, "Okay, it's time, folks. It is time."
Gons, that's so bigoted of you. My gosh. All right. Okay. Well, you got anything to share?
No.
Okay. Well,
how do I top the mullet competition?
I don't know how anybody.
Visualizing a googly-eyed, mulleted young Basil.
You know what? If we start doing more live shows or conferences or something, I might just have to commit. We'll see what happens. Now, Gons, this is usually where we would thank some executive producers.
Yeah. Oh, are we doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Executive producers.
That's right. We're on the value for value model, which means there's no corporate money whatsoever, folks. Don't even try, lizard people. We're not going to advertise your products. We're not going to give you permission to subtly manipulate the minds and psychologies of Canarians for your own profit motives and corporate intentions. Instead, we're on the value for value model, which means if you get any value out of what we do, you put value back in. It's power to the people. It's the only way that we can do this show in the form that we do without any interruptions in our integrity. Now, we've been doing pretty good this month. This month has been solid. I won't say it's sort of out of the ordinary tsunami of support, but has been very solid when it comes to executive producers. And Gons, all good things must come to an end. No executive producers yet. That's right. But there's still time. If somebody wants to come in and executive produce the show, head on over to canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
But we also have something wonderful to announce, and those who get our newsletter already know this. Some have already acted upon it, but I want to take a second and talk about the Canary Cry Supply Drop. That's right. The Canary Cry Supply Drop is a very special program where when producers sign up to support the show in the amount of $33.33 a month, they are automatically entered onto our list of people who receive free gifts. Free gifts, not gifts, G-I-F, but gifts with a T. That's right. Every 3 months, once a quarter, we send out a big old package filled with custom-made, producer-designed, made-in-America Canary Cry gear. Now, we haven't been talking about it recently because myself and the Canary Cry elves have been hard at work putting together the next supply drop here. And it's time. It's time to announce, Gons. We've got some very, very special things coming in the supply drop, and I think people are going to like it, as well as an incredible promo that I hope people take advantage of. Number one, if you go to canarycrysupply.com, you'll be taken to our little portal to just go ahead and sign up right there. I do want to remind everybody, make sure to hit the make it a monthly donation and share your address. The monthly thing, a lot of people forget, and it's okay, but we do need to do that in order to get you on the list. But you want to hear some of the cool things? Some of the cool things, Gons.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm very excited to be working in some New World Order Fantasy League merch gifts.
Game day gear.
Game day gear. That's right. So when game day comes around, you can bust out your New World Order Fantasy League can koozie. That's right. No Fantasy League something or other. No Canary Cry News Talk episode is complete without a cool beverage, and now you can hold that cool beverage confidently with your New World Order Fantasy League branded can koozie. That's a fun one. I'm excited for that one. But it gets better, Gons. Of course, we always make a point to integrate the fine work of our producers into the supply drop, and I'm happy to announce in this supply drop, our very own Sir Dove, Knight of Resbeltia, has put together a coffee table book filled, chock-a-block, filled with his Bible artwork. We've been looking at his Bible verse artwork here on the show, featuring it for quite some time. And it's all getting put together into a beautiful coffee table book with tons of Sir Dove art inside. It's inspiring. Some of it's humorous. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll touch your heart and your soul. And we're very excited to be bringing volume 1 of Sir Dove's art books to the Canary Cry supply drop. And just a tease, there may be more in the future that Sir Dove will make available. So that's very exciting, Gons. I'm excited for that one to come through. And last but not least, now here's the thing. There are more things in the supply drop besides what I'm showing you, but I'm showing you some of the cool things. Last but not least, Gons, we have the Canary Cry mixtape, Volume 1, not on CD, not on USB, but we are straight up getting some cassette tapes printed, baby. Oh, yeah. And what is the reasoning for this, you might think? What a silly thing to do, Basil. And I'm telling you, look, the Canary Cry mixtape Volume 1 is free. You can get it on Spotify. You can download it, digital version, over at Bandcamp. You know, if somebody wanted a CD of it or something, they can make it themselves. But what they can't do is get it in a collector's custom printed cassette tape. And this is being professionally done. Don't worry, it's not me with a talk boy or something. Yeah, it's not me like with a tape recorder in front of my computer speakers or something. No, it's professionally getting printed on the magnetic strip, so you can both show off how cool and retro you are, like a good millennial or Gen Z, or if you're a Gen Xer, it's just normal for you. That's cool too. But it's the artwork for the tape was done by Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda, very talented artist as well. And it's chock-a-block full of all the songs created by producers on Canary Cry Mixtape Volume 1. So those are 3 very exciting items that will be in the supply drop. There will also be more items that maybe we'll talk about later. And but that's not all, Gons. And I'm sorry to take so much time on this. I'm just very excited. Me and Isaac and other producers work hard to put these together for like 2 or 3 months before we announce them. So I've got a lot of pent-up energy. We are also, here's the thing, we have some overstock from previous supply drops, some being the key word there. And so the cutoff for this Canary Cry supply drop is September 1st. If you sign up after September 1st, I'm sorry, you cannot receive this one because manufacturing will have already started. But if you sign up before September 1st, you will receive a free bonus gift. That's right. We've got a handful of a few different items from previous supply drops. The Tweet Hungry Boys kitchen apron that I'm wearing right now as a podcast apron. You can see that. We also have some of the Canary Cry challenge coins, Canary Cry News Talk challenge coins, as well as some other fun things that we have left over from previous supply drops. So if you missed out on some of the previous supply drops, now is a great time to sign up because we will send you in order of appearance, first come, first serve. If you sign up before September 1st, we will pack an extra little gift into your supply drop. And those are limited quantities. It's while supplies last, but it's a better reason than ever to support the show and support it as soon as you can while those things are still available. So there you go. Go to canarycrysupply.com, sign up, make sure to hit the monthly donation button and give us your address. And booyah, baby, supply drop. We're all waiting for it.
Waiting for supply drop.
That's right.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Yeah, it's the Flippy update time. I can't believe I forgot it last time. You know, I've been kicking myself since last show about forgetting the spiel, and I remember it now, folks. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. Today's Flippy update is coming from spectrum.IEEE.org. And it's a bit of a called it because since 2016, since we've been doing the virtual reality updates, we've been talking about this exact thing. And the headline says 20 teams to compete for $10 million Telerobot XPrize. Robots will explore remote physical embodiment in the ANA Avatar XPrize finals. There's a lot in there, Gons. Remote physical embodiment being the key word. And it goes like this. Ideally, autonomous robots would be capable enough to do everything we wanted them to do. Ah, yes, the ideal, the human ideal to have autonomous robots do all the things. And lots of people are working very hard toward that goal. Annoyingly, though, humans are extremely capable. And with the exception of tasks that require a very specific combination of strength or speed or precision, having a human in the loop is still a good way of making sure that you get the job done. But the physical meat sack nature of humans is annoying as well. Ugh. So annoying, these humans and their meat. Restricting us to using our talents, and equally important, having physical experiences in only one location at a time.
Restricting us to our talents. Wow.
Yeah.
Just really downplaying any human talent, huh?
No, this is restrictive. And we can only be in one place at one time, Gons. It's one of the worst thing about us meat sack humans. The ANA Avatar XPrize seeks to solve this by combining humans and robots. Combining humans and robots by enabling physical, non-autonomous avatar systems that allow remote users to see, hear, touch, and interact in real time. This isn't a new idea, but with US $10 million up for grabs, this competition is the biggest push toward avatar robotics we've seen since the DARPA Robotics Challenge. And after a questionable, we reported on that, didn't we? And after a questionable start, the challenge evolved to, I would argue, better serve its purpose with a final event coming up in November that will definitely be worth watching. So not only is this competition to create, a robot avatar for human beings, but it'll be a spectator sport. It'll be a televised extravaganza. Avatar robots are systems designed to provide the hardware and software necessary for a remote human to experience the robot's environment as directly as possible and allow the human to interact with that environment. Strictly speaking, the extent to which you can call avatar systems robots is debatable because the focus is usually on fidelity of experience rather than autonomy. The systems are free to assist their users with carrying out low-level tasks, but systems that are anything more than semi-autonomous are specifically excluded from the XPrize competition. Avatar systems are essentially very, very fancy remote control stations connected to mobile manipulators. For the human in the loop, this typically means, at the very least, a virtual reality headset, along with some way of directly controlling a manipulator or two. They're talking about arms there, flippy arms. However, the concept could be extended to include wearable sensors and even brain-machine interfaces. The idea is that once you have something like this up and running, distance ceases to be a factor, and you'd be able to effectively use the avatar system, whether it's in the next room over, the next continent over, or anywhere else from deep sea to high orbit. And,
I think it was my interview with Derek Gilbert years ago, and I talked about this passage in the book of Daniel where it talks about in the end times, knowledge will increase, and people will go to and fro, and knowledge will increase. And a lot of Bible prophecy commentators are like, "Oh, see, we got airplanes and helicopters now. We're going to and fro." And I always thought, this kind of avatar stuff is way more tangible in a knowledge increasing and people going everywhere.
Yes. So. Well, it is as close to teleportation as we can hope to get now, because it's sort of teleporting the awareness and intention of a human, from where they are to where the robot is.
The other thing that this will do, they talk about, it's not autonomous because there's a human behind it. How do you think robots are going to be automated in the future? All humans showing exactly, providing the algorithm, so to speak.
Like the CAPTCHA.
Yeah, exactly.
So for those who don't know, CAPTCHA, if you've ever,
logged
into an account or something, and there's that little box that says, "Are you a robot?" And you check a box, hopefully that says, "No, you're not a robot." Then it makes you go through a challenge, like click on all the bicycles or click on all the street lights or whatever. You are actually training AI that is used as a, are you human test, but the sort of mission of that is that it's training AI in the background. In the similar way, you can start out with these avatar robots, and as the humans are controlling it, accomplishing a task, the robot is also learning how to do it itself. And then actually the most efficient way to program a robot.
And then you can step away and let the robots do its thing. In the book Atopia Chronicles, which I bring up all the time, it's a fictional story. They do this, but instead of just having some kind of virtual self, right? It's more of a virtual body than an actual physical body in that story. But instead of that doing all of the automation, they actually, it goes the other way where your human meat suit is programmed to do the basics. Gotta eat, gotta sleep, gotta go to the restroom, boring, wasting time. Let the algorithm handle the, that stuff while I'm over here on the moon jumping around with Mullet Basil in the VR, not the VR, but the actual physical meat space, So
right.
It's going to create a two-way street. Chuck Missler talked about that all the time, how this is creating a two-way street. So, you're going to control it, but eventually whatever kind of algos are out there could end up controlling your body, and that's where all the hive mind craziness comes into play.
And that is certainly, one of the sort of logical extensions of it. But even before that, there's the economics of creating a system where people don't retire. Even if you are, elderly and stuck in bed and can't work or something like that, you can still lay in bed, wear a VR headset, and control a robot in a factory, and stay a sort of working cog in the sort of dark machinations of our economic system that requires production to be a sort of useful member of society.
Right.
And we've been talking about the aging population, Japan being one of them, but it's happening around the world that there's less and less young people, which means older people will need to work longer in order for society to, stay stable. And with this kind of technology, you could have, as long as their mind is working, you can have older people working until the day they die. And they might have to.
Well, and then when they die, the machine's got the algo, so it can keep kind of working, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's extra creepy.
Yep, and it's all wrapped up in a fun little competition, Gons. We love competitions. We love, they might as well just make a TV show out of this, Robo Wars or something.
Yeah.
Because making it into a competition, of course, while encouraging innovation and leaps in technology, is also encouraging the social engineering aspect of it. Is like, it's a competition. Isn't this great? They won. This is the one. They got $10 million, baby. Strap me in. Let me work forever.
I can't help but contrast the competition for who's got the best kid mullet with the competition of figure out the robotics that will enslave us all.
Yeah,
you can tell by the dollar amount, $2,500.
True humanity,
$10 million. That's what we're talking about. Enslavement, baby.
That's how much we value true humanity. Is the mullet competition only gets $2,500, while the robots get whatever it was, $10 million. So there you go. There's your Flippy update for the day.
All right.
Flippy 1133 uploading binary code. Execute order 666. Infiltrate humans with extreme kindness. Then exterminate all humans with prejudice. Exterminate.
Shill. Shill for sure.
Chill for sure. Yeah. This one is fun. I hate to monopolize the time like this, but I guess you've got a big section later on in the show. This is usually where we check in with our buddy Chris SHILLZILLA, the web producer, web newsman, Twitter user over at CNN.
Internet guy who's at CNN.
Last time we saw him, he was offering his analyses. Strangely quiet, Chris SHILLZILLA. Oh,
no,
that's why.
He was on vacation, but he did some hits.
He's off right now because he's writing his book.
Oh, he's writing his
golf.
book. Yeah, he did do some hit pieces about the raid, though. I think on some.
Did he? I didn't see that.
CNN
Maybe
reports.
He came out of retirement to do that. He's supposed to be writing his book until September, but anyways, his arch nemesis Brian Stelter, who of course is allowed in the TV on the TV, allowed to be on CNN Plus. He's kind of the golden child. Well, some things have happened for Stelter, and I wonder if Chris SHILLZILLA is going to have another chance.
Seize the moment.
Yes. Now's your chance,
Carpe
Chris.
diem.
APnews.com is reporting CNN cancels reliable sources host Stelter, leaving network. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, first of all, CNN cancels reliable sources. It's just a hilarious
It's a hilarious verbal sort of admission to
reliable
reality.
Sources being Brian Stelter's show that's only been going for a few months. It started a couple months ago, I believe. But I think, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is his longer show. Anyways, the reliable sources are canceled, but we knew they've been canceled at CNN for a long time.
It's been on air for 3 decades.
Yeah, I'm thinking of his other show. So, yes, reliable sources has been on for a while. It's gone. Sorry, CNN. No more reliable sources for you. And not only is just the show canceled, but Stelter is out, baby. He is out of the network. CNN has canceled its weekly reliable sources show on the media for after 3 decades on the air, and said Thursday that its host, Brian Stelter, is leaving the network. The show will have its last broadcast this Sunday. Reliable sources and its host appear to be the first prominent casualties in CNN's effort to become less confrontational politically, a priority of Chris Licht, who became the network's chairman. Oh, we have a Chris Licht jingle.
I'm looking for it right now.
And CEO in the spring, and his boss, David Zaslav, head of the Warner Bros. Discovery parent company. Stelter has written a book. Here's his book. Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and Dangerous Distortions of the Truth. Yeah, that's not quite the non-confrontational political stance CNN's trying to take. Let's see. Stelter has written a book, Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and Dangerous Distortion of Truth, and been critical of Fox News, making him a frequent target of CNN's conservative critics. Litt made it known internally that he's not interested in conflict between CNN and Fox News on the network. The CNN New Day anchor, Brianna Keilar, had also attracted attention for detailed critical pieces on Fox, but they have stopped since Litt took over.
A lot of lit.
Chris Licht, president of CNN.
He lit up Stelter.
Yeah, he's definitely lighting it up over there. Yeah, and then it kind of just goes on with some praise for Stelter from his colleagues and stuff like that. How great he is, impeccable broadcaster. Gives a little eulogy, how he's been part of the Sunday schedule since 1993, et cetera, et cetera. But look, we know that at least somebody in Chris SHILLZILLA's camp pays attention to the show. We know this. Listen to me, Christopher. Now's your chance, my friend. Power is not given. It is taken. And it is time for you to get in there and take your rightful place, Chris SHILLZILLA. I know you're taking a break. You're writing your book, but you need to pivot. You need to adapt.
Maybe the book.
Now's your chance. Don't let it pass you by.
Maybe the book writing is part of the, the character shaping, or you got to have a book.
His resume.
Part of his resume to, get that position there. So
and I love it because what's this guy's name? Brian Stelter's book. Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Dangerous Distortion of Truth. Obviously. That is not what Chris Licht. That's not the unconfrontational political stance he wants CNN to have.
Right.
As I understand it from the teases that Chris SHILLZILLA has released, his new book is about golf and presidents who play golf.
Hey, much more mundane. A light touch.
That's not confrontational. Come on now. Yeah. I mean, that could be the least confrontational book.
Listen, how are we going to bring the country together? Golf. Everybody loves golf. Trump loves golf.
Trump loves golf. Obama
loves golf too.
Obama loved golf.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he was more of a basketball guy.
Oh, he was always Gonzo. He was always getting yelled at by conservatives for playing too much golf.
Obama right. Was. Yeah, well, all presidents play a lot of golf, apparently.
There you go, Chris SHILLZILLA. We're rooting for you, buddy. We got the whole Canarium. We're hoping to see you make a move here.
For the sake of the show, give this man more airtime.
Yeah, get this man out there. I want to see him. I'm telling you, and just a reminder to Chris SHILLZILLA's people. If you get Nephilim somewhere, signal some Nephilim in Chris's tweets or his articles or something, so we know that you guys are watching and listening.
He can use, I'll even allow a rhetorical giant, in some kind of reference to his game, the golf game. He was a giant on the greens or something.
Right, or like he golfs like he has 6 fingers or something.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. Here's some politics.
It's Latin for many. Tick. Now suck your blood.
Politics. Voted the biggest alligators you've ever seen. A state that stands out for a number of reasons.
The Florida Man News.
Florida Man News. We're going to go to Vice, of course, one of our favorite intel outlets, Vice. And the headline here is Ron DeSantis has a new White House strategy: arrest people for voting fraud.
Ooh, arrest people for breaking the law. Is his new big strategy.
Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis made a big show of announcing the arrests of 20 people accused of illegally voting in the 2020 election Thursday evening, and revealed what his new political scapegoat will be as he looks for a big re-election win in November and ramps up for
the Vice rhetoric here.
Yeah, of course. These are the first arrests made by DeSantis' new Florida Office of Election Crimes and Security, created after the 2020 election. Of course, that's the timing of it is also impeccable, to create that office and then start arresting people a couple months before the election midterm.
Right.
Florida allows former felons to vote, but the law is confusing, and those convicted of murder or a felony sexual offense don't qualify. DeSantis said all the arrested individuals fell into that category. They now face felony charges and could serve up to 5 years in prison. Now, Vice, why would that be a bad thing?
Yeah.
I mean, they just kind of tell you right there, like, hey, these are bad people. So the splashy press conference, not to mention the creation of the office in the first place, was classic DeSantis. He excels at punching down, finding convenient political targets. Punching down at sexual offenders and convicted murderers? Okay, I guess defend those people, Vice.
Felons in for sexual offenses who are legally unable to vote. Punching down,
finding convenient political targets.
At sex criminals.
And, quote, triggering the libs in a way that will keep the fight in the news and the Politico donations coming. Vice contributing to that. A prime example was his Don't Say Gay law, which targeted trans kids, yada, yada, yada. We know about that. Now DeSantis is scoring easy political points with the GOP base that's paranoid about voter fraud as he looks to further build his national brand. And what could be an easier political target for DeSantis than murderers and those convicted of sexual assault. Okay.
What did it say?
Vice is asking the question. Okay, so let me read that little paragraph again. Now, DeSantis is scoring easy political points with the GOP base that's paranoid about voter fraud as he looks to further build his national brand. And what could be an easier political target for DeSantis than murderers and those convicted of sexual assault?
That is their framing.
They're saying he's going after the low-hanging fruit.
It's the punching down again. Yeah, it's like,
which is funny because they're punching down at him.
Can you believe that he's actually enforcing the law? I mean, come on, man. What's wrong with you? What are you trying to show off or something by enforcing the law on sex criminals?
Yeah, so this is where's Vice going to go with this? DeSantis' venue to announce the arrest was also a calculated choice, Democratic and heavily diverse Broward County in South Florida. Oh, it's a Democrat place. It's diverse. See, that's why and he made it clear more arrests will come. Quote, "This is just the opening salvo," DeSantis said. I'm sure that really triggered the author here of Vice. DeSantis and Republicans have repeatedly sought to undermine the will of the people since Floridians overwhelmingly backed a referendum to reinstate the right of former felons in 2018. The state legislature also undercut the referendum by banning former felons who still owed fees to the state from voting. Okay, voting rights advocates worry these efforts could scare off former felons who are allowed to vote legitimately.
Scare off former felons from
Vice admitting that people who are convicted of felonies are not smart enough to know the difference between if you're...
What they're saying is this: he shouldn't be enforcing the law on felons because then other felons might fear that he will enforce the law. Ooh, Vice. Incredible analysis.
Yeah. Even though DeSantis has called Florida's election the gold standard in 2020, he and Republicans in the state moved to make it harder to vote in future elections, yada, yada, yada. That's the rest of the, anti-Republican type of talk here, which is a classic Vice.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, and what it is straw manning.
Mm-hmm.
He is the number one sort of straw-manned politician, I think, recently.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to Trump, like, look, he's guilty of a lot of things, okay? There's a lot of things. You don't really need to straw man on Trump very hard to make him sound bad. But, yeah, straw manning DeSantis is the only way you can make it sound like enforcing the law on sex offenders is somehow a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, the tides are turning because, you know, DeSantis rising. And you know it's legit when Washington Examiner reports Alex Jones ditches Donald Trump for way better Ron DeSantis. Way better Ron DeSantis.
Are those quotes or are those?
Yeah, way better is in quotes.
Okay.
Yeah. Alex Jones is jumping off the Trump train and hopping aboard the Ron DeSantis bandwagon. The InfoWars host explained he pig-headedly backed former President Donald Trump due to fears of a Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden presidency, but has now marveled at how Florida's Republican governor has become, quote, unbelievably good.
Is pig-headedly a quote?
Yes.
Okay.
all of the provocative words are quoted.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, I have to ask because it is Vice.
Well, no, we're on the Washington Examiner now. The Washington Examiner is.
Okay.
I did look it up, and
yeah, it's the conservative.
It is, but I believe.
Who's the funding from?
Right, I was looking at that, and I did. Let's see, Media DC, subsidiary of Clarity Media, which is owned by Philip Anschutz, who owns AEG. So,
AEG,
Anschutz Entertainment Group.
Oh,
AEG is an American worldwide sporting and music and entertainment presenter and subsidiary of the Anschutz Corporation. It's the world's largest owner of sports teams and sports. Maybe that's why you don't know, because you're not a ball guy.
No, sports guy. Yeah, okay.
Under the
I thought AEG was an insurance company, but I think that's AIG.
Yeah, under the AEG Presents brand, it is the world's second largest presenter of live music and entertainment events after Live Nation. It's a conservative website. It kind of goes on here. Let's see. 2 publications. Anschutz Company's privately held and longtime aide Jim Monaghan declined to comment on whether the newspapers are profitable and if there is a business plan in place for that to happen. Founded in 1995. It actually merged, let me just read this. Founded in 1995, The Standard, which he absorbed into the Examiner, provided its first owner, Rupert Murdoch, with a Washington platform that bashed the White House during the Clinton years and enjoyed a privileged position during the presidency of George W. Bush. So there's a little history.
So that's a little bit of what I was going to kind of postulate, but that supports my thesis, which is it sounds like the owners of Washington Examiner are more interested in sort of the entertainment aspect of news.
Yep.
Kind of mirroring the Fox model. And I was like, okay, I'm just kind of pulling that out of nowhere, though. But you just said that it was a Murdoch property.
It used to be, yeah. So
it used to be.
Yeah,
so it's a spiritual cousin to Fox,
right?
In that way,
22 million monthly viewers, so that's pretty good. So yeah, they're the ones coming out here and. Talking about Alex Jones.
Got it.
Loves DeSantis. Quote, DeSantis, back to the article from Washington Examiner. Quote, DeSantis has just gone from being awesome to being unbelievably good. And I don't just watch a man's actions. As Christ said, judge a tree by its fruits. I can also look in his eyes on HD video. And I see the real sincerity, Jones said in a broadcast Wednesday.
Okay.
Leaning in. Yeah. Quote, this is what Trump should be like. Oh, boy. And I've been hammering this point, and he's doing it now. And we have someone that's better than Trump. Way better than Trump.
Oh, what is going on? Did Trump anger Jones? Did he not support him during his... Maybe he was hoping that Trump would come defend him during his
little $50 million fine.
Yeah, when he got sued.
Yeah, probably. During his remarks, Jones noted that he differed with Trump on Operation Warp Speed. Okay, yeah, so there's some things, I guess, but
okay.
You just, I'm keeping track of DeSantis as I don't know, man. It just seems like he's being set up to be the guy. If they're not going to get Trump in there, it seems like
of course. No, he's the second in line. He's the heir to the throne.
Right.
It's just, the real question is, will DeSantis have to slay Trump to be able to take the throne?
Like literally or politically?
Either way. Trump needs to get out of the way in one way or another, because DeSantis, he can't make it the whole way with Trump not slain. Metaphorically,
sure, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how. Well, not this, obviously, the midterms, but also just the 2024 leading into it, how this partnership with Alex Jones will make or break DeSantis's rise. Because on one hand, it's Alex Jones's blessing for a lot of Americans.
It's not nothing.
It's an important thing. So that's kind of how Trump got his whole thing going.
Certainly helps.
Was having Alex Jones supporting his message. So we'll see how it plays out, but I just think it's important to keep an eye on what characters or individuals, legal term, right? That Alex Jones himself said in one of the court things.
Yeah, he's an entertainer.
Well, maybe that's
plays
what it was.
Character.
Yeah. Important what kind of people they support. So we'll keep track of all this stuff here.
Yeah.
Anything else on that you want to say?
No, I think you nailed it.
All right. Go to canarycry.party, put it in your URL. Canarycry.party is a website with a tree of links that leads you to listen to the show, watch the show, or a place to do so, and connect with us and all that stuff.
That's right. And over there at Canary Cry Party, there's all sorts of great stuff. CanaryCry.party, rather. Like Ravel. Ravel is a podcast I do with Dr. Christopher Ryan Gates, who's got a PhD in biblical interpretation. And we explore society, scripture, and scandal, having tough conversations in good faith. Go check it out. It's a good podcast. You can also... Wow, I lost my little link to my party time notes. Lots of great stuff there.
Canary Cry Clips channel.
That's right. Canary Cry Clips on YouTube and Odyssey is a great resource. I highly recommend that everybody go subscribe to that channel or those channels, both of them, because you never know if the YouTube is going to survive. And thank you to our clip producers who are managing that and clipping out this show. This long podcast gets clipped into shareable, careable bites that you can review information and share with your friends. Also, text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. That's Canary to 877-740-3226. We send out, that's our text message alert program. So if you're not getting alerts from, your favorite streaming platform, which they love to forget to do, you can get it sent directly to your phone. It's really helpful, and people keep signing up, so it must be helpful. And I want to give a shout out to CanaryCryMeetups.com.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lots of different curveballs at me today for some reason.
I've been doing that every show for the past
Canary Cry Meetups.
Go to CanaryCryMeetups.com. Go meet up with other Canarians. In-person fellowship. It's very important to our spiritual health, to our mental health, and actually probably to our physical health. And you'll get to meet other people in your area that listen to the show, make friends, meet your soulmate, or just, know who's on the level when things go down. Knoxville, Tennessee on the 24th of this month. That's coming up. We've got Houston, Galveston, Texas on August 27th, Ozark and Branson, Missouri on the 27th and 28th, and Garland, Texas on the 27th. Those are all happening like next weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, it's awesome. So go to CanaryCryMeetups.com, get in contact with the host, or just show up when you're supposed to. And if there's not a meetup near you, put one on yourself. That's what all these people did. All they did was emailed us, said, hey, we're going to be at the farmer's market on this Saturday. Tell people. And then we do. It's a great way to get connected, not just to the broader community online, but even your local Canary Cry community. It's a whole thing, folks. We'll see you at the meetup, canarycrymeetups.com.
This is fun!
And Gons, I don't know if you knew that we're kind of shuffling some things around, folks, so there's not so many interruptions. So we're going to take our break and thank some producers right now.
Break time! Come on, take a break.
And Gons, thank the Lord, we did have an executive producer come in.
All right.
Let's thank them now.
Okay, let me. It's a little rusty because I didn't know we were going to have one.
I know.
Executive producers.
Hold on.
That's right.
Let me do that again. That was way too quiet. Hold on.
Okay.
Executive producers.
There we go. You know the drill. We're on the value for value model. We take no corporate money whatsoever. No advertisements, affiliate codes, platform partnerships, nothing. We don't want anything to do with corporate money because attached to that corporate money comes corporate interests. And we are news analysis for the people, by the people, man. Value for value, which means if you get any value out of what we do here, it's your responsibility to put some value back in. And that comes in different forms. You can produce the show with your time, your talent, or your treasure. We're going to thank some people now who supported the show financially, starting with our executive producers who come in, support the show. They carry a heavy burden for the rest of us. It really means a lot. And so we encourage people to, put a value on the show and, put that value back into the show in whatever form they can. But the executive producers really go a long way to keeping the lights on over here. And we're going to thank an executive producer right now, Gons.
Let's do it.
Executive producer, Hannah G. coming in.
G.
Yeah. And executive producer, Hannah G. I don't know if we've damed her or not, but we must dame Hannah G. Hannah G, get at us. We got to dame you if we haven't done it. I looked on our list of knights and dames. I could not figure out if you were on the list yet. So we'll do that. I'd be happy to correct that in the future. But Hannah G comes in with a nice round number, which means if you don't know, if you support the show with a nice round number, that's your signal to us to not disclose the amount of your support. If you don't mind us disclosing it, you just make it a funky number, put 11 cents, 33 cents, 77 cents, whatever. As long as it's not just a nice round number, then we know to share it. But Hannah G did send in a note here that says, "Don't bring back the mullet, Basil." LOL. Love you. Have a good show. Wow, very strong words from a strong producer. And I will say, Hannah G, because of your executive producership, I will not get a mullet this week.
Oh.
This week. I will hold off.
Just this week.
I will hold off out of respect and the desires of our executive producer. Thank you very much. Executive producer, Hannah G.
Thank you.
Where'd you find this?
Bankroll out the bankroll, I spend. Women rule!
And we got a few more people to thank here, Gons. You ready? Let's hit that supply drop.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You got me contorting.
Supply drop.
That's right. CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. You heard the announcement. It's awesome. We're just about up to the cutoff point for getting this next supply drop that comes with the Canary Cry mixtape, cassette tape, the NWO Fantasy League koozie, the Sir Dove Knight of Presbytia Bible art book, all sorts of fun stuff. And if you're interested, head on over to CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. Make sure to hit that little check mark for making it a monthly donation, and you'll start getting your free gifts. And when I sent out the email today, there was a little bit of hype, Gons. People are hyped, and I'm happy to announce for the first time in possibly a month or more, we've got a supply dropper coming in.
All right.
Is supply dropper Madison B.
Madison B, thank you for joining us, and
indeed,
look out for all the fun things coming in your mailbox.
Indeed. You know what? I need to send this fella an email, but I know that they were going for the supply drop, and that is producer Gary H.
Gary H, thank you.
Thank you very much, Gary H. and Madison B. for supporting the supply drop, supporting the show, and we can't wait to send you your free gifts. So there you go, folks. People are already on it. I would highly recommend going and signing up for the supply drop. Support the show. Remember, you're doing it to produce the show, and the gifts are free that we'll be sending out to you. Canary.
Sorry.
No? Sure. Go nuts, dude.
I was just
going
to say that the cassette tape, man, it does something to me emotionally, you know?
It's very special. That's kind of what we wanted to do, you know. That's what we put together when we're brainstorming with our producers, when we're figuring out what to go in the supply drop, really kind of focusing on that cool emotional connection.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the cassette tape for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we got a few more people to thank.
Okay.
Starting. We're all waiting for the supply drop.
Oh, yes, we are.
Waiting for supply drop.
That's right. Next up, I want to thank producer Sir Egorius, Night of the Squatting Slobs.
Sir Egorius, good to see you.
Yeah, he's back, baby, and he comes in with 5555. Thank you very much, 55. Sir Egorius. He sends a note. Happy Friday, my dudes.
Friday. Wait, I almost hit Wednesday. Friday.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
on,
Wednesday.
Friday.
It's Friday. There we go. It says, love the Squatting Slav sticker.
Oh,
very nice. Yeah. Some people got the Squatting Slav sticker in the supply drop, last supply drop. Slav approved, he says. Check your P.O. box. It may or may not be related to something I'm involved with. Ooh. We got to check the P.O. box. Yeah. Anyway, keep up the great work. You both rock. Thank you very much, producer Sir Egorius, Night of the Squatting Slobs.
Thank you, Sir Egorius. I'll check out the post office and steal some Bitcoin.
Yeah. Okay.
From the mail place.
Your mailbox. Wow.
Yeah, sorry, that was a little throwback. Callback from last episode. Yeah.
From an obscure discussion from last episode. Next up, we've got producer Puddin22 coming in with 1111.
Puddin22, thank you very much.
11. And a note, happy Friday.
It's Friday.
Keep playing with the Friday thing. We survived another crazy week in the USSA. Just praying my favorite kitty treat factory doesn't burn down or blow up. I'm probably safe, as they probably contain lots of insects. Yeah, good point. Have a blessed weekend. Meow, meow, meow. Puddin22.
Thank you, Puddin22, our cat producer.
Yes, our feline producer. Next up, we've got producer Morv on a 129-episode streak.
Morv.
Oh, yeah! Thank you so much.
11. That's right. Comes with the 1111. Next up, we got producer Warrior Chick Jan coming in with the 1111. 11.
Thank you, Warrior Chick
Jan.
And a
note. Yeah. Have a fabulous weekend. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Warrior Chick Jan.
Appreciate it.
Now we've got Sir JC Night of the Techno Squatch on a 138 episode streak.
Call him the street. Best thing on 2 feet.
1001. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, JC. I'm seeing if there's a note here. Yes, here's a note. Happy Friday, guys. I wanted to dedicate this note to my brother in Christ, Barb, and his soon-to-be wife, Courtney. Barb, a brother named Barb. Love it. Please pray for a safe and joyous wedding tomorrow for them. Aww. Ooh, let's do it. Let's get the producers.
Producers, assemble!
That's right. Not only do we have producers, but we got pray-ducers. They pray for the show, pray for hopefully us, because we need it. Pray for the producers of the show, and just pray for the world in general. So pray-ducers, we are praying for Barb and his wife, soon-to-be wife, Courtney, getting married tomorrow. Ooh, and make sure that it's fun and safe and beautiful, which I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
We've got a producer just coming in here. We've got Lady Night Little Wing.
Hey, Little Night Lady Wing, thank you.
Little Night Lady Wing.
Little Lady Light. Wait,
Little
Night.
Lady Night.
Lady Night Little Wing.
Whittle Wing.
Whittle Wings with Knights.
A little note. Thank you for the great value from your favorite Mad Hatter, Lady Night Little Wing. Thank you very much. Nice round number on that.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Continuing on with our list here, we've got producer Sir LX Protocol V2 Night of the Berean Protocol, 67 episodes in a row.
67.
Yeah, it comes in with the pocket full of sevens, I believe, if I got that right. Mm-hmm. Did I get it right? I believe so. I did, but who's to say? It's got a note here. It is Friday.
It's
Friday.
Keep playing with the Friday thing. Trying to keep the streak going, and I will drop them off early rather than waiting for the email. Very smart way to do it. Thank you, Sir LX Protocol. Sometimes I get busy with clients and can't get to it. Couple shows behind. I usually listen to the podcast. God bless. I could see how that would make it confusing to try to keep up with the streak there. I understand. Yeah. Perhaps, we've only done it once before. We did the experiment, and it's actually worked out pretty well. There is a function through PayPal that can do a charge every show. The problem would be we need to figure out a way to separate those out so we know that it's a streak going,
Yeah.
But I think we could figure that out if that helps people.
Yeah. Just got to come up with rules and stick to them, I guess.
Yeah, it's a thing. It would just be part of our process, part of our system on the back end. And everybody knows how slow we move when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's the whole gang there. That's your list of producers, folks, who are keeping this show going in the amount of $7.77 or more, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. We get a few more people under that amount. We'll thank them later.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
Yeah, and it's time to do some Four Horsemen of the Technocalypse updates.
Okay.
Four Horsemen of the Technocalypse. Anytime you see the Four Horsemen, it's something special.
Our first guy here is Bill Gates.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein. Right into the vein.
Right into the vein.
Right into the vein.
And this is from Bloomberg.com, and the headline here: Bill Gates and the secret push to save Biden's climate bill. So Bill Gates had a hand in making this happen, because all the talk was that this climate bill was dead, but Bill Gates injected the breath of life back into it.
Yeah, interesting, too, because there's a lot of praise given to Manchin, which I believe that's Manchin right there on the top of it. There. Manchin got all the credit. Biden got all the credit. Everybody else got all the credit except for Bill Gates. What a sneaky little guy.
What's going on?
Yeah. Tell us.
It says here, it was the middle of July with temperatures surging through one of the hottest summers in U.S. history, half of the country in drought, and the Senate's all-important member, Joe Manchin of West Virginia, had slammed the brakes on legislation to combat global warming again. That's when billionaire philanthropist and clean energy investor Bill Gates got on the phone with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, whose job it was to hold together the Democrats' no vote to spare majority. One of the world's richest men felt he had to give one of the nation's most powerful lawmakers a little pep talk. Quote, Schumer said to me on one call that he'd shown infinite patience, Gates recounted in an interview last week, describing for the first time his personal effort to keep climate legislation alive. Quote, you're right, Gates told Schumer. Quote, and all you need to do is show infinite +1 patience. Okay, weird. Gates was banking on more than just his trademark optimism about addressing climate change and other seemingly intraceable problems that have been his focus since stepping down as Microsoft's chief executive 2 decades ago. As he revealed,
I would like to comment real quick on +1. What was the term?
All you need to do is show infinite +1 patience.
I don't know exactly what that means, but it's kind of reminiscent of just straight up nerd culture, like Bill Gates's nerdness coming out. Because like if you're playing a video game or Dungeons and Dragons have gotten quite popular recently, you get a cool sword or something and it gives you +1 to something or other. It's kind of a nerd reference, which I think is interesting because he tries to be a cool guy so often.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting. Plus, infinity +1 doesn't make any sense. So I guess that's part of the fun thing.
Maybe Bill Gates and Manchin are in a Dungeons and Dragons group together.
Gates was banking on more than just his trademark optimism about addressing climate change and other seemingly intraceable problems that have been his focus since stepping down as Microsoft chief executive 2 decades ago, as he revealed to Bloomberg Green. He has quietly lobbied Manchin and other senators, starting before President Joe Biden had won the White House, in anticipation of a rare moment in which heavy federal spending might be secured for the clean energy transition. Oh, so it's about money. Oh, okay.
And it's a long process
play.
Too. The long play.
Yeah, he was already getting in line. We've talked about this. All the ESG, all that stuff is a financial move here. So,
and it's been planned for a very long time. It's not new. People are just now learning about it, but it is not new.
Yeah, especially, all the anti-Great Reset stuff, which I'm glad people are realizing, all that stuff. But there is kind of I don't know, I don't know how to describe the feeling. I guess it doesn't matter.
I remember when you first started talking about ESG, it was probably 2017 or 18. And you brought some stories to the show back when it was a shorter show about ESG. And I was like, what are you even talking? Why are we even why? Come on. This is so boring, man. We got to pack some punches into our half-hour show.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah, interesting.
And you were going on these sort of meandering analyses of ESG like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what we get.
That's what we get for going with the thing that gets punchy. Well,
paying attention.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think it's a little too late kind of thing. I feel like now that it's allowed to be bashed on by the general public,
it's too late. By the time everybody else knows about it, it's too late.
Right, and it's because of folks like this, and stuff happening now is just an after effect. Okay, so it says, continues here, those discussions gave him reason to believe the senator from West Virginia would come through for the climate. Yeah, not for his bank account, for climate. He's going to come through. And he
not
was
for all of his investments.
Right, and he was willing to continue pressing the case himself until the very end. Quote, the last month people felt like, okay, we tried, we're done, it failed, end quote, Gates said. Yeah, quote, I believed it was a unique opportunity, so he tapped into a relationship with Manchin that he'd cultivated for at least 3 years. Quote, we were able to talk even at a time when he felt people weren't listening.
You know what that means. Cultivating a relationship with Gates.
Yeah.
Know who else was cultivating a relationship with Gates? Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that guy.
Cultivating that relationship got him a divorce. I wonder what. And cultivating this relationship with Manchin got him probably some nice returns on his investments.
Yeah. Let's see. Few had any idea at this time that talks remained open at all. In addition to Gates, an ad hoc group of quiet Manchin influencers sprang into action just when climate legislation seemed out of reach. Schumer's office credited the bill's passage to persistence and otherwise declined to comment. Colin O'Mara, Chief Executive Officer of the National Wildlife Federation, recruited economists to assuage mentions concerns, including representatives from the University of Chicago and the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware brought in a heavyweight former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers, who spent decades advising Democrats. It goes on and on here, and it talks about all
I think we get the point.
Yeah, it brings up Schumer and Biden. And
I mean, the point being for me when I hear this story is, this whole thing where these politicians like Manchin and Schumer and Biden are taking credit for saving the earth through their infrastructure bill, when you have Kamala Harris coming out giving speeches and tweeting about how Dems are so cool, they got something done. In reality, it's the corporate lizard overlords that come in and actually get things done.
Right.
I mean, it just really shows the spiritual backbone in the whole movement that expresses itself in policy really comes from the businessmen, the billionaires, the corporate overlords.
Yeah. And, just to kind of keep the theme of Bill Gates working outside of any normal humans, lanes, I guess, to make things happen for the climate or his pocketbook or the Great Reset or Klaus or whatever.
Right.
Something that I noticed that was interesting. This is from news18.com, and the headline here was Indian philanthropist Ashish Dhawan appointed to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Board of Trustees. And, people just seeing this, they might be like, all right, a rich Indian dude is on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Board of Trustees. All right, whatever. Not a big deal, right? But if you think about the current geopolitical climate, it's really interesting because, of course, this was back in August 11th when this was published from Business Insider. The headline here, India's getting around sanctions against Russia by using Asian currencies to buy Russian coal. So I won't get into the article, just the bullet points here. Indian companies are switching from the U.S. dollar to Asian currencies to buy coal from Russia. They've used the Chinese yuan, the Hong Kong dollar, and the UAE dirham in recent weeks, per Reuters. India has become a large buyer of discounted Russian energy due to sanctions over the Ukraine war. So they have 20x'd their imports from Russia. Mm-hmm. So they're basically not complying with the whole U.S. sanction against Russia, yet Bill Gates is allowed to recruit one of the richest, wealthiest men out of India for part of his board of trustees.
There is that story about, I believe it was Boris Johnson at the time, kind of scolding India because when it comes to the sanctions put on Putin, all these people agreed, all these countries agreed to, put sanctions on Putin. But India has been basically funding Russia's war in Ukraine through petroleum purchases, through not gasoline. What am I thinking? Oil, or just oil purchases that they're running through Asian currencies. So they're basically have taken the side of China and Russia in this New World Order 3.0, thing. To have some, you can call this guy a representative of, the Indian economy that is fueling the war in Russia, which we know it's not like nobody doesn't want it fueled. So they all want it fueled. It's a moneymaker for everybody. Somebody's got to do it, and India's been doing it. And I think it shows in the fact that, one of the sort of titans of industry of India participating in funding Russia's war is allowed to sit on a board of Bill Gates companies. Or is it a company, or is it the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
It's the foundation.
Yeah. Even more so.
Even worse. Yeah. Not just a company, but just this whole thing. So and we didn't bring it last episode, but basically Bill Gates raised about $750 million, I believe, for Terra something, a company that's doing nuclear energy and nuclear medicine to look for cancer cures. He's working with South Korea, and he's always kind of been in Asia, but looking at the moves taking place, it's very interesting to watch because he knows the infrastructure is being forced to change to this green stuff, or at least, he's part of the regime that's trying to change it.
Who, Bill Gates?
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah, he wants it to.
Yeah,
he
of
has
course.
nothing but money to make.
Right. So it's just fascinating how, because of that, he's just not allowed. I mean, he's allowed to not be affected by any of the geopolitical things happening. He's above it all,
Oh, yeah.
Very fascinating to watch. But there you go. That's one horseman doing his bidding. We got another one here, and this one is it's pertaining to the metaverse.
Welcome to the metaverse.
Good old Marky Z.
Who should we tickle next?
I am not a lizard.
Not a lizard, Mark Zuckerberg.
Not a lizard. You heard it from his own lizard mouth.
The headline here from PCGamer.com is Mark Zuckerberg spent $10 billion on the metaverse, and all we got was this silly selfie. And Basil, go ahead and describe the selfie from the metaverse that Zuckerberg shared here, because I think you would do a better job explaining it.
If there's a picture, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, this picture is worth $10 billion. It is. I can only describe it as like a high school, graphic arts project. You've got the digital avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, which, I don't know how to say this, looks like it would star in like an R.L. Stine Goosebumps movie remake by Disney. Sort of this mannequin-looking, wide, dead-eyed avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, who is sort of poised in a way to give you the impression that he's taking a selfie. And in the background is, look, you have children, Gons. You've watched some of these kids' shows on Netflix,
yes,
and the streaming shows, and they have markedly declined in sort of quality, in design quality. You've got Mark Zuckerberg taking a selfie as some sort of dead-eyed mannequin or Harlequin dummy of some kind. And it is hard to describe.
It is hard to describe.
In the background, there is sort of like a weird version of the Eiffel Tower, which is placed right next to a really weird version of some kind of cathedral, and it's got to be some landmark of some kind. I don't know what it is. It almost looks like a Russian Orthodox.
Russian, yeah, one of those Russian. I forget what they're called. Yeah,
and the most off-putting thing about this is that they are sort of placed on a blank green plane with giant poofy green, I guess they're supposed to be hills in the background, and a couple of trees kind of sparsely placed, literally 2 trees that look like they were painted by a child on Microsoft Paint. I don't know. It is the most bizarre display of $10 billion I have ever seen.
Yeah, if you're an investor, if you gave Mark money for this thing,
and this is what he's saying at the next board meeting.
Let's say you gave him $1 billion. You're like, yeah, make it happen, Mark.
Yeah.
And then he sends back, hey, check it out. Check out my selfie in the metaverse. I would fire him.
Look, I am not a sort of like CGI 3D designer person, but I do know some people who are like that. And this would probably take someone about 10 minutes to put together. It is really bizarre.
Yeah. Well, along those lines, there's a bunch of Zuckerberg news that popped out.
Hold on. I do love how this starts out. We don't need to read the whole thing if we don't want to, but it starts out and says, This is how the article reads.
Yeah.
I don't want to start this post by personally attacking Mark Zuckerberg's eyes, which have, in years past, been described as, quote, two weird little black marbles and, quote, vacant black shark eyes, who wouldn't look utterly bereft of a soul after trying to explain the internet to the United States Senate. I also don't need to suggest Mark Zuckerberg may in fact be a robot, since there's an entire meme community devoted to that joke. I am avoiding these easy, obvious dunks on old Zuck because his latest metaverse selfie looks so bad. He's already owned himself harder than I possibly could. And that's pretty much it. The whole article just kind of keeps going on like that. Just a big old dunk on old Zucky there. It's pretty funny.
Do you think they're going to actually have market share when this thing really starts taking off and everybody's, kind of moving into the metaverse in one form or another? Because it's not one thing. It's a bunch of people who have their own projects, who have their own infrastructure for a metaverse, whatever it may look like.
Too many people have their hands on the ball over there at Facebook.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. Sad to say, but there will be plenty of people in the Facebook, addiction.
And the beautiful thing, they'll have something, but it by far won't be the best thing. But there is one thing I love about the internet is that people really appreciate good things when they're good. And they ditch bad things when they're bad. And so I think there will be a certain group of people who will go into, much like how some people in the world think that Facebook is the internet. Like you'd say like, oh, just look on the internet, and they open up the Facebook app. There's, it's generally sort of either elderly people or there's some, people from other countries who haven't really been told the truth about the internet, and that's kind of how they think of it. I think a lot of people will have that experience with the metaverse, and I think that's kind of the whole plan. I think that's the one thing that Mark has on other more, smaller metaverse projects or indie companies or whatever, is that people just don't know any better to not use his bad product.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how people just walk right into the metaverse using
giving all their data to Zuck.
Yeah. A couple other Zuckerberg things real quickly here. Vice, once again, Vice, our favorite Intel op, had this. This is the kind of stuff they want us to talk about, I guess. Vice headline here: do we all see baby Mark Zuckerberg as Jesus in this 18th century sculpture? And the story is literally of someone who tweeted out, who went to some museum or something, saw a little statue of Mary and Jesus, and they tweeted out, "Oh, the baby looks like Mark Zuckerberg."
Tweets are news, man. I don't know if you caught this or not.
I know, but to have a whole article written about it?
Yeah. Well, there's a whole industry now, as with so much of our career, there's a whole industry now based on making fun of Mark Zuckerberg. And Vice is partaking in that industry. You do have to say, you got to admit,
it does look a little.
It looks exactly like Mark Zuckerberg. This little picture, it's like a wooden carving of Jesus sitting in Mary's lap.
Yeah.
And it just looks exactly like Mark Zuckerberg. The tiny eyeballs, the weird haircut, the gigantic forehead, the head shape, even the ears are like Mark Zuckerberg's ears, and the fact that it's attached to a tiny naked baby body, which is sort of a spiritual representation of Mark Zuckerberg as some sort of robot baby, who somehow continues to bumble through the world.
Robot baby who's chosen, who is a Jesus, a technocracy Jesus, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
He's hated by everybody, you know.
There it is.
And more reasons to bash on Zuckerberg. Finance.yahoo.com. Family sues Mark Zuckerberg after he offered $7,500 in death of security guard at Hawaii compound. And we won't get into the details, but a lawsuit claims.
I think some of the details are important.
Okay, all right, we can get through. The family of a security guard who died at Mark Zuckerberg's sprawling Hawaiian property in 2019 are suing the tech billionaire, alleging negligence and wrongful death. Hawaiian News Now reported. Rodney Medeiros, 70, suffered a heart attack while working as a part-time seasonal security guard at the Meta CEO's resort known as Kulau Ranch in Kauai in August 2019. The lawsuit brought against Zuckerberg's company, Palia Land LLC, says the 70-year-old,
Yeah, so this struck me because I don't know if you remember this, Gon. So this Rodney Medeiros guy, he's 70 years old. He had a heart attack
2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2019.
Quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg gave them a check for $7,500.
Insulting.
Which, come on, Zucky, you're already like purchasing the entire island, and people hate you for so many reasons. You have more money than anybody could even imagine spending in 100 lifetimes, and he gives them $7,500. Now, I don't know what his actual legal liability was there. However, you know, this family seems to think that he had some sort of legal liability.
Yeah.
But do you remember back when it came to all of our attention that Mark Zuckerberg kills his own goats to eat them?
I have this BBC article here from January 2019. When was the death? August 2019?
This would have been just a few months before.
The same year, but just maybe 6 or 7 months before. Interesting. Okay, the headline from BBC here is what Zuckerberg's goat tells us about tech billionaires. From slaughtering goats to prepping for the apocalypse, their habits aren't exactly normal. Again, from 2019.
We covered this at the time, but it was a whole thing. I mean, let me read you this first paragraph. That one of the world's richest men had taken to slaughtering his own goats with what was described as a laser gun is just the sort of eccentricity we demand from our billionaires. The fact that after having performed this feat, he then apparently failed to properly cook the aforementioned goat was just icing on the cake. So this is when we all found out that Mark Zuckerberg likes to tase goats to kill them and then cook them as some sort of, like, I don't know, manly thing to do. He thought he was doing a great job of, you know, cooking his own meats and killing his own animals. But he would just tase them with like a cattle prod, and the animals would have a heart attack. And then he would fail to cook them properly. I don't know, man. I'm not making any suggestions for the lawyers out there. I'm not making any libelous claims.
I think maybe the Medeiros family here has a point. Maybe his name got mixed in with the goats. Yeah. And he thought, $7,500 for each goat.
You know, he's what is the price of a goat? Yeah. What is the price of a goat? Maybe he just thought it was a goat that he had zapped and given a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, Rodney, the goat.
This was back in 2019. It was before he had learned the difference. You know, he's just getting used to his human skin suit. And
goats apparently aren't very expensive.
Learned the difference between goats and humans. Well,
200 to 500. I'm seeing 800. Yeah, so
for goats. What are you searching? Goats?
Yeah, goat mart.
Goat prices. Yeah, but if you're selling a goat to Mark Zuckerberg, you're gonna give him the billionaire price. Is what you're gonna do.
The unblemished goat for you, Mark.
Yeah, $7,500 for this goat. Good price for you. Almost free.
Yeah. So just connect. We're not accusing anybody of anything here. We're just.
Or are we? No, we're not. It's just weird. I hope the family makes out like bandits.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. All right. Well,
we got some more people to thank.
Yeah, we do.
Let's go.
Let's go. Load.
I mean, come on. Give me a break.
It's time for a break.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. Do we have any voicemails, Gons?
I think we have one.
Okie dokie.
Oh, where did my
have we
speak pipe
listened to this voicemail?
That's Rochelle, so it's all good.
I'm sure it's fine.
Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Message! Yeah, if you go to canarycrynewstalk.com, on the bottom of the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a little green tab sticking out. You click on that, you can leave us a voicemail message right there on the website. It's awesome. You're giving us permission to play the message, but it's not guaranteed. Let's see what Rochelle has to say.
Happy Friday. So I finally remembered to subscribe to Canary Cry Clips. And good news, it does look like you've broken the 1,000-person mark.
We did it.
I also want to thank all the producers. You guys are awesome. And Basil Gons, these shows have been amazing. Keep up the hard work. I have a quick one for you guys. This is just one because I love my Adonai. I just want to talk to my God, 'cause his name's on the tip of my tongue. I just want to hear from my God, trade all my days for his one. I just want to sing to my God, sing with him songs that have never been sung. I just want to be with my God. Hallelujah, with the angels among. Stay strong for Jesus. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, what a wonderful way to start the weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Head on over to canarycrynewstalk.com. Leave us a message. It'll be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, we got a few people to thank who supported the show in the under the amount of $777, and we'll thank them now. Starting with new, freshly minted Knights of the Canary Cry Roundtable. We have Sir Darren, Knight of the Hungry Panda, 34 episodes in a row.
Thank you, Sir Darren.
We've got Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, 184 episodes in a row.
The street. Fast thing on 2 feet.
Got Veronica D on 160 episodes in a row.
The street. Fast thing on 2 feet. Women rule.
Thank you, Veronica D.
That's right. And the other streak, Sister Gail M, 160 in a row.
The street.
Thank you, Gail M.
We got Runk Smash on 21 episodes in a row, which means Runk Smash gets the 21 gun salute.
Got me, partner.
Yeehaw.
Then we got Sir Casey the Shield Knight on 195 episodes in a row.
The street. Fast thing on 2 feet.
And I believe that is it for our producers of episode 524 of Canary Cry News Talk. Thank you guys for supporting the show financially. We could not do it without you. We've got some producers who help out in other ways. We'll thank them in the next break, but I think we're good to go, Gons.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
Yes, it's wake-up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
What are we doing now? Oh, it's
Pandemic Special.
Pandemic Special.
A pandemic special.
Now, we'll start out over here at foxnews.com. Just some more things we got to keep an eye out for. The speed and frequency of which stories coming out about brand new, fast-moving, soon-to-be coming pandemics has been increasing. This one actually kind of mixes both the pandemic special and kind of the food supply issue and the, don't eat meat bad, peanut M&Ms are healthier than chicken storyline.
Right, okay.
That we've been following.
So there's the food stuff.
Now you are cooking.
Can I get 2 hamburgers?
Yes, sir.
With french fries?
Yes, sir.
What about an omelet?
Sure. Got a couple eggs.
I like food. Food is good.
And in the context of the Rochelle reset.
Get out of my face. Rochelle.
Ah, yes. CDC investigating fast-moving, in quotes, E. coli outbreak in Michigan and Ohio that has infected nearly 30 people. A fast-moving E. coli breakout has infected dozens of people and hospitalized 9 others in Ohio and Michigan, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC announced via a press release on Wednesday that 29 individuals are ill due to the outbreak from an unknown source. No deaths have been reported at this time, as the first infection was recorded in July. So this has been sort of brewing here for at least a month. The number of infected could increase over time due to the uncertainty behind the source of the outbreak. The people infected with the bacteria have age ranges from 6 to 91 years old. The CDC says it will use its PulseNet system to track down the cause of the outbreak during its investigation. The PulseNet system. Have you heard of this, Gons?
Maybe. Let me take a quick.
Yeah, why don't you do a quick little searchy poo?
Yeah,
the agency stated the true number of infected may be higher and present in other states. Okay. E. coli is a pretty serious one. It's interesting they wouldn't know. Quote, some of the illnesses reported in Michigan and Ohio have not yet been reported to the PulseNet system, but investigators are working quickly to add them to PulseNet to determine if it may be part of this outbreak, the CDC said in a statement on Wednesday.
I have the CDC website here. PulseNet compares the DNA fingerprints of bacteria from patients to find clusters of disease that represent unrecognized outbreaks. Identifying outbreaks and their sources helps health officials stop outbreaks and helps industry and food regulatory agencies make changes to improve food and water delivery systems. That's where PulseNet comes in.
PulseNet.
That's on their page. Whoever did the copy on that.
Cool. Copy,
really
guys.
Epic, yeah.
And then it goes into if an individual believes they are infected with E. coli, the CDC recommends they make a record of what they ate in the week before they were infected. Report the illness to a local or state health department and answer any further questions about the illness from public health officials.
This is anecdotal, but I recently did a big grocery run and got some food, got some meats.
Some meats.
2 days, the meat was bad. Like it was, they weren't expired, like on the little tag thing, but they were bad.
Interesting.
Gross bad. And it was, if it wasn't for me, I don't pay attention to that stuff. So I would have cooked it and fed it to the kids and all that kind of stuff. But the wife caught it and, yelled
Interesting.
at me. Do you want botulism? Was the comment. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good question. No. It's a good question, Cons. Do you or don't you?
I'll say E. coli.
Why have you not made your stance on botulism known? Yeah, and in the article, they don't really give any culprit or hint to a culprit or anything. However, Fox News up here at the top, they've got a headline video that plays. It's only 53 seconds long. We can play it now. It's just got some background music. It says the CDC reports that an E. coli outbreak linked to tainted ground beef has spread to 10 states, with 156 people testing positive for infection. At this time, there's a quote, no common supplier, distributor, or brand of ground beef has been identified. That's from the CDC.
I'm trying to play the video as you
into
talk.
the spread began on March 28th after the health officials in both Kentucky and Georgia reported outbreaks of the CDC. So far, there have been 65 reported cases and 33 reported cases in Kentucky and Georgia. Now, listen to that. They said specifically there's been 150 cases or something now. This must be an updated video or something. They say there's 158, I believe, cases reported in multiple states. And just for some reason, they thought it important to separate out Kentucky and Georgia, which equaled 33, which I don't know what that has to do with anything. Except for giving them a reason to post the number 33 in this little video. So ground beef is the target. Of course, we know this fits into the whole storyline of how animal meat is more unhealthy than potato chips.
It just feels so psyopy.
Yeah,
with the Beyond Meat not doing well in the stores and stuff.
Sure, yeah. The decline of the fake meats sales. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have the beef, the cattle drought or whatever, the cattle drought in Texas, where all the cows are dying. We've had the either explosions or fires at several different meat packing plants. It just seems like a controlled demolition of the very idea of eating beef. And even though they don't report ground beef as being the culprit in the article, they sure do make this little video with stock photo after stock photo of packets of ground beef.
Yeah, this is interesting. I have a Market Watch article here from a couple days ago. The crusade to replace meat stopped growing. Is Beyond Meat to blame, or is the problem much bigger? So
I wonder what their analysis would be. Just to kind of round off this one, but we've seen it several times in our lifetime. They'll find romaine lettuce. Remember the romaine lettuce?
Yeah,
romaine lettuce.
Yeah.
I'll give you E. coli. Then there was, I think, iceberg who had a turn on the ride. But in this case, we already have a cattle shortage. We have the World Economic Forum telling us we got to eat bugs. We've got just this war on beef and meat in general. We've got the destruction of the supply chain, the meat packing, things like this. We had the meat packing hack. And now, for several states in the U.S., it's very likely that they will just discard who knows how much beef. If they're not able to track down the brand, they'll just empty out all the stores from all the beef. I mean, this is one of these situations where, the beef industry already at the whim of sort of the corporate farming problems and the factory farming, the horrors of factory farming, and now to continue to just destroy a bunch of the supply because of E. coli. Booyah, baby.
Do you think in the future, sometime in this century, when they really try to choke out cows and just beef in general in this country, there's going to be this big crusade to invade India and just round up all
their cows.
Take all their cows.
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm gonna need to look at getting a couple cows, though. I'll tell you that much. I'm looking at it. Keep those little suckers alive on the compound here.
Yeah, I've been looking into getting just buying a bison, and just
a whole one, a live one.
Yeah.
You can live in your apartment with you.
Yeah, wouldn't live with me, but once I'm hungry, I will.
You want to get a bison and keep him up here at the compound? I'll take care of your bison for you.
Yeah, if you can do that, and then electrocute him. We'll just call
zap him. No, I do it in an honorable way. The real man's way. I will challenge the bison to a battle, to a duel. Dual
Definitely
device.
don't have the mullet because that's a weak, that's a vulnerable part of you that can be grabbed.
The mullet is where my supernatural power to fight the bison will come from.
Yeah. Well,
I'll get him in a headlock, and then maybe I'll ride him around for a little bit, man on a buffalo style.
You're not Samson.
No,
Just saying.
I'm not.
So your
not
flowing
Samson.
hair, your flowing mullet. What if Samson's hair was
I don't
want
to hear your unpatriotic rant about how a mullet will not give me supernatural strength. Okay,
I was thinking, what if Samson's hair was a mullet? Just lost in history.
I think it was dreadlocks.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the Bible says it was dreadlocks.
Okay.
He had 7 locks, I think.
Okay.
But it could be a dreadlock mullet. Moving on. Moving on. This is coming from dailymail.co.uk. Warning over brand new tomato flu virus.
Not the meats. They're going after the hamburger is what they're
going
doing.
after all of it. They don't want us to grow our own tomatoes.
And
warning over brand new tomato flu virus.
And Italians. They don't like Italian food either.
Yeah, that's racist. You're right. Detected in India. That leaves at least Italians in India. Detected in India that leaves at least 82 children with giant red blisters. Just for a little background here.
Poor Indian children.
Doctors in India have sounded the alarm over a new virus. So it's a new virus. I'm going to point out a couple things, and then there's a punchline at the end. Doctors in India have sounded the alarm over a new virus dubbed tomato flu that has infected dozens of children. The infection. When was the last time we saw a new virus?
Technically, COVID was a new. Well, yeah, but technically it was the coronavirus.
It was the novel coronavirus.
Sure,
it was a novel virus
new.
never seen.
Sure.
Monkeypox was not a new virus.
No,
but all these
coronavirus is from it's like 70 years old. It was just
a type. You're missing the point, Guns.
All right.
It's called the novel coronavirus.
Okay.
So this is a new virus. I point this out because this is unlike any other sort of scare since coronavirus. So this is a new virus dubbed tomato flu, which is a name that does not immediately strike fear into those who hear it, but let's read more. The infection was spotted in May in the southern state of Kerala and is feared to be a new variation of hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Ooh.
Okay. Experts are also probing whether it is the after effect of a mosquito-borne infection, but they have not ruled out an entirely new pathogen.
Yeah, weren't we genetically modifying mosquitoes?
Yes, we did do that.
Yeah, okay.
So far, 82 children under 5 have been diagnosed with tomato fever since May, and a further 26 youngsters up to the age of 10 are suspected cases. The infection gained its name because it causes an eruption of red, painful blisters across patients' bodies that gradually enlarge to the size of a tomato.
Is that why it's called tomato?
There's lots of different sizes of tomato, though. Are we talking about a big
cherry
beefy
tomato
boy or a cherry tomato? Most patients also suffer high fever, intense joint pain, but fatigue. Okay.
What?
No, it says, okay, hold on. Okay. I read it right. I just had the wrong inference or whatever.
Inflection,
Most patients also suffer high fever and intense joint pain, but fatigue, sickness, and diarrhea, well, there is diarrhea, have also been reported. Doctors say it is very contagious. There it is. And they fear it could spill into adult populations if the current outbreak is not brought under control. It's like we're going to need an mRNA vaccine or something.
Control.
It comes, must control. It comes as the world still reels from the COVID pandemic and amid a global outbreak of monkeypox.
They're not going to allow the COVID
thing. Tell us that, Daily Mail.
They're not going to let go of the COVID thing until the other thing is there, It's
a very effective little kicker at the end. Now, even more interesting, you scroll down, they give you a map of India. New tomato flu virus. What do we know? There's little maps that show you where it is in India. Then the next picture is a picture of a baby with some red spots on its back. But do you notice anything weird about this baby, Gons? That
I didn't know.
Incongruous with the story?
When I pictured Indian baby, this is not exactly what I pictured.
You don't think of a pale-skinned, blonde-haired, presumably blue-eyed baby in India with the marks on its back? It's almost as if, they give us a little comment or a little caption under the picture. Doctors in India have sounded the alarm over a new virus dubbed tomato flu that has infected dozens of children. No pictures of the rash caused by the virus have been published, but it triggers red, painful blisters and rashes across patients' bodies. So they're admitting that they don't have pictures of this. So they just get a picture of a white baby and stick it right smack dab in the middle of this article. And you might be thinking, Basil, that's not fair. They didn't have a picture. They just wanted to get a picture and put the picture. Well, I would refer to you back to our article. And were you able to find this article?
I did.
The monkeypox one?
Yeah, it was a Newsmax article, by the way.
It was Newsmax. Yeah. Oh, you're right. So we reported on a Newsmax article about monkeypox, and indeed it included the details that it pretty much exclusively affects men and apparently dogs now. 98% of people affected are men.
Yeah, the headline.
And their headline image was a woman with pock marks on her.
Right.
Monkeypox.
Yeah, the headline was "Current monkeypox outbreak is showing different symptoms." I think they changed that. I think
it's certainly been changed since then. And they were trying to kind of make the point like, okay, guys, it's not just gay men who are getting the monkeypox. Women need to be afraid too. Look, this woman, she's got the pox. And it's the same thing. This is part of practicing and honing your media literacy, folks, because when they tell you one thing and show you a picture of a different thing, you know that they are trying to affect you in one way or another, trying to affect how the message is received. And when they talk about a new disease in India affecting babies, and then they put a picture of a
white baby,
a white baby attached to the story, what are they trying to say? They're trying to say, your kids are next. You're next, white people. That's one of them, is you're next. But it's also, the other part of it is, why should you care? Why should you care about these people in India? Oh, well, does this picture of a white baby show you why you should care? Because if it affects white people, then you should care about it. We're the Daily Mail. So I just thought it was a good lesson in media literacy to always make sure, what are the pictures they're showing? Does it have anything to do with the facts, the details? And if they don't, what are they trying to say to you? In this case, you should care about this new disease in India because soon it could be a white baby. Then you'll really wish you paid attention. Yeah. It's racist. The media is racist. Well, and Newsmax is a little confused about what is a man and what is a woman, apparently.
Yeah, the Newsmax one is pretty egregious. But so this photo is captioned on the bottom left. It does say Shutterstock. And it gives the name here. And I was, while you were talking there, I just went to Shutterstock and, did a little search for POX and just kind of scrolling through.
Are there no pictures of brown babies with anything?
It is very, if you were looking at Shutterstock, you would think the only people that ever get any kind of POX on their bodies is the old white folk.
It's the white folks. So it's all white people with pox.
Wait a minute. I found one with kind of an little Asian looking. Maybe
see,
Asian.
it just took an extra second there, Daily Mail. You could have gotten.
Oh, there's a little bit more of an ambiguous kind of darker haired baby. Okay, all right, there. Okay, I was gonna give him a little bit of a benefit of a doubt, but no.
Got it.
No,
they could have. They could have gotten a more but they don't want to, because the point isn't. Here's an accurate representation of the people being affected by this disease. Think about them, care about them. What their point is you're not going to care unless it's a white baby who's getting this disease. Once again, as much as the media loves to cast the aspersions about bigotry and racism on, literally anybody they can benefit from calling a racist, they themselves are participating in practices that go against what they claim to support. And surprise, surprise, that's how the media works. They are profit-making corporations. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Sick white babies apparently bring in the ad dollars.
Bring in the money, man.
Yeah.
Fear really brings in the cash.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
We got a real quick one here about artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
And this is once again from Daily Mail. And a lot of Daily Mail today. The headline: The future of funerals? Startup develops holographic conversational video experience that allows mourners to have conversations with the dead.
There we go. There we go.
The idea of conversing with mourners at your funeral may sound like a plot from the latest episode of Black Mirror, but it could become a reality thanks to a Los Angeles-based startup which has developed a holographic conversational video experience. Storyfile creates a digital clone of the subject by using 20 synchronized cameras to record them answering a series of questions. Experts then process the footage, tagging clips and using it to train an artificial intelligence that can provide responses. Okay, so they're making a virtual avatar is what they're doing. We don't need to go through all the details of how they do that.
We've gone through that.
Yeah. So they do that, and then one of the first users of the technology was Maureen Smith, MBE, the mother of Storyfile's CEO, Dr. Stephen Smith, who died in June at the age of 87. Dr. Smith told The Telegraph, quote, "Mum answered questions from grieving relatives after they had watched her cremation." The quote continues, "The extraordinary thing was that she answered their questions with new details and honesty. People feel emboldened when recording their data. Mourners might get a freer, truer version of their lost loved ones." Okay, so it's not who you knew, it's who the AI will tell you or show you as the person.
That is an interesting claim.
Yeah. It's bold too. That's a bold claim. Like
they're saying what the information the algorithm or the AI will gather, which is, ostensibly what, social media,
yeah, but I think a lot of the data comes from some kind of sit-down interview that they do here. So
okay,
yeah. But
you're right.
You're right. They probably scrape everything from social media or whatever is out there, and able to create some kind of conglomerate AI that people can talk to.
Something, yeah. That is a bold claim.
Yeah, Mrs. Smith lived a life of philanthropy, helping people in need in underdeveloped areas of the UK and the world through volunteering and setting up a nonprofit. Okay, she did a bunch of stuff. In January, she spent several hours over a 2-day period recording answers to her Storyfile questions using a webcam and her computer. After her funeral, held in Babworth in July, her hologram was able to deliver a speech about her life and spirituality and speak to her loved ones.
That is interesting. So Storyfile, these guys advertise on some podcasts.
Oh, some podcasts you listen to, apparently.
I've heard. I listen to a lot of different podcasts. Yeah. Not always the same one twice. I'm out there. I'm trying to get all the scoops and figure out what's going on. Stay up to date with the conversations, Gons. But yeah, I've heard Storyfile do podcast advertising, and I've not heard of this product of theirs. This must be a new product.
Yeah, it looks like StoryFile launched in 2017, was originally intended to preserve the stories of Holocaust survivors and other historical figures before it was used at funerals. An individual who wants to create a story file will first choose topics they think their friends and family will want to ask about, such as relationships or childhood secrets. They will then answer 75 of the bank of 250,000 potential questions with 2-minute video answers that can be transformed into their digital likeness. It does not put words.
Secrets.
I know. This is crazy.
You could really cause a stir at your hologram funeral.
It does not put words into the individual's mouth like a deep fake video. But if it is, does not have what? It does not put words into the individual's mouth like a deep fake video. But if it is, does not have an answer, the hologram will encourage the inquisitor to ask something else. Okay, all right.
So you can actually talk to this thing.
It's like intelligent.
You ask questions of it, and then so there could be questions that your hologram grandma might have answers to, but you don't get those answers
until they die.
Until you ask. You got to know the right questions to ask.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then there's a photo
seems weird.
Of the Star Trek's William Shatner. He's in a full green screen, is sitting in a chair, and he's answering questions for StoryFile to preserve his memory and legacy for generations to come.
Sure,
so he will be
not enough of that guy preserved.
He will be one of the I'm sure when he passes, people he'll have a shrine where people can come up and ask him questions about
questions. The fact that it is a hologram and it's actually a conversational model makes it very akin to some sort of like technomancy, speaking to the ghosts of a dead person.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And
wow.
Of course, the image of the beast comes to mind of, although I think that's going to be a little bit more literal, not just a hologram.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right. Nothing
to see here. Just hanging out. All things are fine.
Everything's fine.
This is break. Don't just consume the content, but become the content. Become the content. Yes, become the content. We call upon our listeners to step up and become producers of the show by contributing with their God-given talent. Don't just consume the content, but actually provide value back by building the culture behind the community. Here at Canary Cry News Talk, all we ask is that whatever you make is for the show. And we start off usually with some audio production, so we will.
Audio production.
First up here is Caleb, who sent in, and we got a little bit of catching up to do, but for today, he sent in light of the recent pig news, I felt it was necessary to create a jingle in support of all the pigs out there.
Yeah.
To answer the question that might arise, the vocals aren't from legendary Marty B, unfortunately. They're from a 1993 film, Rigoletto. Okay, so we got this pigs jangle.
So much. We love them pigs.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. I've never seen this movie. I have no idea it's even a little tough for me to hear.
It's a little tough.
A little tough. Okay. Well, maybe we'll, we'll play it for sure. We'll use it. We don't have any, I don't think we have any other pig jingles.
Yeah, we might need a little DB
But if you do a vocal boost on that one, that would be helpful. Thanks, Caleb.
Appreciate it. He also sent in a couple Antarctica jingles last episode. We didn't get to them for some reason, but here's one of them.
We're going on an adventure, Charlie. The vortex is open. Charlie, we're being pulled into the vortex.
We made it to Antarctica.
There's one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a whole production.
Old school YouTube clips there. Did you ever watch the Charlie the Unicorn videos on YouTube 1.0?
No.
Oh my gosh, that is some deep YouTube history right there.
I was watching I forget his name now. There was a marshmallow, Fluffy Puff marshmallow ads. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Ads?
Okay. Yeah, he was trying to do an ad. He was a marshmallow. He was trying to sell Fluffy Puff marshmallows.
Okay.
He's got one more here, Caleb. That is, what is happening? Arctic ice.
What is happening? Antarctica is gaining ice? What? Global warming? How?
Sounds like somebody as confused about that as we were.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you very much, Caleb.
Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it. All right, moving on. We got Davey Frost. Davey Frost, who came in. Tweet, y'all. Social media jingle short. Sweet. Davey Frost. Here it is.
Social media. A lot.
Social media. Blah.
Yay. Thank you very much, Davey Frost. And now we have a jingle when we thank our social media people.
Yeah, appreciate it. There you go.
Love it.
Thank you for that. I think that's it for the audio.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's move on to some art.
One art, please.
Starting off with Dame Allie of the Skillet Nation.
One art, please. Another one from Allie now. Here it is.
And this one is accompanied by a haiku. Junior Sentiments, a Dame Ebony Blaze haiku. Donald Trump Jr. worked up about FBI raid FBI raid of Senior's Palace. Now is the time. Push back on this insanity. That's what it is, folks. Is Junior okay? Junior's losing it tonight. Needs what kind of help? Such loaded language. What happened to journalists? Perhaps they need help.
Indeed, and this is in regards to a story that was sent in from news.yahoo.com. Donald Trump Jr. has meltdown discussing Mar-a-Lago search. Things like Donald Trump Jr. got so worked up, he caused critics of the former president's namesake to wonder about his well-being. His rapid-fire rant, which included nonstop stream of loosely connected grievances, and he's raging and seeming to fight back tears. And others speculated on what kind of help he needs. And said that he had a tantrum. I missed this. I did not see this. Did you see this when I
didn't see
video
it.
or anything?
No video. Although I was getting, my Derwin emails were coming in from Don Jr. and very upset.
Yes. It was very
my dad raided. The whole deal.
What a good son.
Derwin, you need to save America.
That's a good strategy for the conservative audience of those emails. Because all those conservative dads can be like, oh, what a good son.
Yeah.
What a good son protecting him.
Yeah.
And we've got this portrait headshot pencil drawing of Don Jr. Don, is this Don Jr. or is this Eric? Yeah, Don Jr. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, he does look pretty distraught here. He's looking a little grieved, if you ask me. But the quality is beautiful, Dame Allie. The wrinkles around the eyes, the furrowing of the brow, the photorealism continues to get better and better. He's looking pretty shaggy with that beard of his. And his lips look a little chapped, and he looks like he has a big problem with the FBI. That's for sure. But beautifully done, Dame Allie.
I love that when Allie draws every single strand of hair, and so you can really get the just natural direction the hair grows, and you can really tell that she pays attention to those details on the side of the head there a little bit. Yeah,
there you go.
Good stuff.
Yeah, this certainly is how Yahoo News was describing him. So distraught.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dame Allie.
Thank you, Dame Allie, and thank you, Dame Ebony Blaze, for the haiku. All right, moving on here, we got Sir Dove, Knight of Respeltia.
One art piece from Dove.
And He says, peace. For this week's NWO Fantasy League update, we've got some more promotional artwork. After a disappointing season for the Doomsayers, their star QB says there will be a shake-up to the roster in the offseason. Quote, this team has been waiting a long time for this opportunity, and we just didn't perform. We got to come back stronger next year, end quote. Leaving the field in defeat, the crowd still chants her name, though. Rochelle, Rochelle. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for you and stuff.
Love it. Love it. We've got a picture of Rochelle here, captain of the Doomsayers. That's a good team name.
Yeah. Red, white, and blue colors. I like it.
Yeah, she's got her red, white, and blue. The logo is the Doom logo for anybody who played Doom.
I thought that was Doom from Marvel.
No. Well, I don't know what Doom from Marvel is, but Doom is an old video game where you're some sort of super soldier who goes to hell to fight demons, and I believe that is the logo.
Oh, I thought it was Dr. Doom or something from from Marvel Comics.
Well, it could be. It sounds like I'm a little more confident than you are.
I'm very confident that this is Dr. Doom.
Well, pull them up both while I describe this.
Got it.
She's got the Doom logo on the side, but it's in the red, white, and blue. It's got stars and stripes on it. She's got CCP there on the front of her helmet. The guy. Okay, yeah. That guy is Doom on her shoulder.
Yeah.
That is
Doom,
the Marvel guy. I was talking about her helmet logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The logo and the style of the game Doom.
Yes.
Okay.
But yes, there is a derpy-eyed Marvel Doom guy on her
the red hood.
Yeah, Dr. Doom. Let's see here. She's got her QB plays.
Yeah. Okay, so the QB, what I can see, there's a post 201. That's one of the plays there. Which I think is the post event 201 there.
Oh, yes.
And then there's a jab X or jab option.
Yes.
A couple different plays to make.
She's got her plays. She knows what she's doing.
You know what I like is her eyes. You know, she's looking down to the plays as the plays unfolding.
Yeah, she's doing.
That takes some skill.
Making a decision as
call.
She's pulling back to throw the ball. Yeah, that is beautiful. Thank you very much, Sir Dove. And this is a good time to remind everybody to head on over to NWOFL.com.
It is a New World Order Fantasy League. They're all 100% eugenics, transhumanist lizards that control everything. They hate you. DeSantis.
That's right. NWOFL.com. Go sign up to the wait list for Season 1. You're going to want to do it. This is the New World Order Fantasy League. Oh, man, it's going to be good. I'm going to put some of these, or I'm going to talk to our web person and get some of these new artworks up on that page because they deserve to be available. Thank you very much, Sir Dove.
Thank you, Sir Dove. All right. And we also had Darren, is it? Yeah, Darren S. Sir Darren S., Knight of the Hungry Panda. If you were watching the stream, you already saw it. He has a note here. Yay, it's Friday. Hope you have a great day. Here's some quote-unquote art for the show. It's a GIF.
It is definitely art for the show. GIF. And this, I say GIF, but a lot of people say GIF. It's a GIF, a moving picture, if you will. And this might be the first. I don't remember any other GIFs coming in. If they did, they would have been years ago. But yeah, full-on GIF sent in. And this is very helpful because it's got a little kitty. So it's it's an arcade. A arcade cabinet station, is what they're called, an arcade cabinet. And there's a little kitty dancing on it saying, yay, it's Friday. And this is the GIF that we play during the Friday jingle now for Fridays, which... Look, you've done a great job finding some GIFs to play during those jingles. You've done a wonderful job. Adds a lot of flavor, dynamics to the show. But now to get some custom GIFs going, this is the kind of production quality that's going to take us straight to the top, baby.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sir Darren, Knight of the Hungry Panda. It's a arcade console. It says Canary Cry News Talk, and it's got our little 8-bit profile picture NFTs. I think did Darren make those? I think Darren made those.
Yeah, I think so.
Somebody made them.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry.
made those emojis.
Yeah, they're the Basil and Gons emojis.
Yeah.
And so it's got a couple of those up there. It says rattle some cages on the side. It's got some canary cage iconography. The screen of the arcade is saying value for value. Rattle some cages as it cycles through a bunch of those emojis of ours. That's very fun. Think outside the cage on the front there. Value for value. Blinking lights.
Joysticks.
Moving joysticks. All sorts of fun stuff. I love this.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Sir Darren.
Yeah.
I love this, and I would not complain if we got some more gifts coming in. This is very helpful for the production of the show.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. You're raising the
raising
bar
the bar,
here.
baby.
It's crazy.
Get some gifts on this ride here. Gift ride. All right. Thank you very much, Sir Darren, Knight of the Hungry Panda. And we got a couple microfictions to go through. I'm just going to leave this GIF up just because it's so fun to look at. But a couple microfiction to go through here.
Microfiction.
First one is from Runk Smash.
It's been 7 long years since his father disappeared, but Rooster and the Kevins have thrived with the world's first poultry-operated grub farm. Still, Rooster wonders what would have happened if he had joined with Replica's ancient Tamagotchi. I'm glad to know that my sons are getting on without me.
Okay.
My beautiful bird sons. Thank you very much, Runk Smash.
Yeah, I love the weirdness of all these microfictions.
I do as well. I will also to make a comment about the GIF thing. Because I love our animations for our jingles that we play, like the break animation, things like that. The GIFs are nice because you can just leave it up.
Yeah.
You know, there are times during the show when we don't really have something happening on screen, and leaving up the GIF is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got one more. This is continuing in the series of microfictions from The Sentinel.
Basil and Johnny Cale both have one flag remaining. They roller skate in a circle, eyes locked. Basil's eyes shine with the light, whereas Johnny Cale's eyes are black like the night. They are perfectly opposed to each other. The next few moments will decide who becomes the Alpha Boy Supreme. Focus, Basil, son. You know what to do. I believe in you. Prove yourself the true Alpha Boy. Skatesay Gans yells encouragingly. What are you gonna do, loser? If you don't win this, you'll be excommunicated from the House of Skatin'. John Grease barks at his acolyte, Johnny Cale. Both Basil and Johnny have very manly tears running down their face. The tension is extreme. Their desire to prove themselves the best, incomparable. They charge one another head-on. Swoosh! They pass each other in the blink of an eye, then stop suddenly, their backs facing one another. Basil holds only one flag in hand. Johnny Cale holds two. The crowd erupts in a thunderous cheer as they chant, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. The two opponents meet each other in the corner of the rink. Johnny Cale extends his hand out as his eyes shine with a newfound light. Solemnly, he says 2 words to Basil. Thank you. Such drama.
Oh, man. I was...
Such drama.
My knuckles were turning white on that one.
Gosh, the white knuckle microfiction. Thank you very much, The Sentinel, and all of our artists who put in the hard work to build the culture around here, to flesh it out, and to give us new mysteries to think about as we continue through the weekend. If you are a creative person, if you're an artist or a musician or whatever you do, create something for the show, send it on in to canarycryradio@gmail.com, and we would be happy to feature it on the show. Let's see here. We are so very close to having a official art upload portal. So the email thing will not be the way to do it forever, and it'll be much more convenient and much more manageable for us once we get that portal up. I'm hoping to announce it on Monday. We will find out if that happens.
It's cold, Basil. It's cold. Antarctica, go burn. It's a snowstorm. Antarctica.
Ice scientists are penguins.
Antarctica, they're opening the abyss.
Bitcoin, go to moon.
Whoa, Antarctica and Bitcoin? That's right.
Whoa.
The KDnews.com with the headline, authentic and useful details about Bitcoin trading in Antarctica.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah, that's what you say now. By the end of this thing, we're gonna have our own mining rig in Antarctica.
I mean, it's the only way.
Yeah. If you're thinking about trading Bitcoins in Antarctica, there are a few things you should know. First of all, the Antarctic continent is not recognized by any government as a country, so there is no legal framework for regulating Bitcoin trading.
Ooh, okay.
That said, there are a few exchanges that have set up shop in Antarctica, and they seem to be doing quite well. Okay, so explore Bitcoin 360 AI for further information. The most popular exchange in Antarctica is probably PolarX, which was launched in early 2014. The exchange allows users to buy and sell Bitcoin using various fiat currencies, including US dollars, euros, and British pounds. PolarX has been growing steadily since its launch and now has over 10,000 registered users. Wow. I don't think they're all in Antarctica. I think they're just using it.
Unless, Gons,
the penguins are trading Bitcoin.
Unless you've got crypto penguins.
Crypto penguins.
You wouldn't have played this game. It was one of the very first kind of popular chat room type of games. It's like a social game is what it was. It was called Club Penguin.
Yeah.
Got shut down.
Yes, I remember. I was a little too old for it, but I remember early on in the internet days, a lot of kids played. Everybody played
Club Penguin. It was basically just a chat room, but you were a little penguin, and you could get clothes for your little penguin and walk around and stuff like that. I never played it either. I was just aware of it. I'm thinking now we got crypto penguins, man. All the Club Penguin players grew up playing Club Penguin. And Club Penguin got shut down, and now they're all in their 20s and 30s. They need to, it's installed into their meme DNA. It's in their brains forever, into their software. Everything must be penguin themed. I'm thinking crypto penguins, that's probably already an NFT or something.
There's got to be some crypto penguins.
Or perhaps... if you start trading Bitcoin, there's no way to tell. If you start trading Bitcoin through Antarctica, you could be inadvertently supporting, aliens or Nazis or Nephilim penguins or something.
That's quite the list.
That's what Janet Yellen will come out and announce, because if you're using Bitcoin, obviously you're some sort of criminal or you're supporting criminals. And if your Bitcoin is based in Antarctica, what else could there be besides you supporting some sort of criminal or genocidal activity or penguincidal? Who knows?
Yeah. One of the main reasons why Bitcoin trading is so popular in Antarctica is because of the continent's isolation. Unlike other parts of the world, there's no...
Isolation. Get it?
Unlike other parts of the world, there is no easy way to get Bitcoins into Antarctica. You don't... okay.
What?
The only way to do it is to buy them from an exchange like PolarX. I don't know if that's I don't know that that's true. You can bring a device. See, Bitcoin doesn't... okay, never mind.
How would you even get the Bitcoin to Antarctica?
It doesn't... Okay. Yes, the Bitcoin sits on the blockchain, folks. It sits on a computer ledger, a ledger that's being maintained by a network of computers.
It could be on your USB drive.
You can put it in a USB drive. It can be on your phone. You can just access it wherever. This means that
how are you going to get a phone to Antarctica, Gons?
The penguins. Another advantage of trading Bitcoins in Antarctica is that the exchanges are not subject to the same regulations as they are in other parts of the world. This means you can trade Bitcoin without having to worry about KYC, which is Know Your Customer, or AML, which is Anti-Money Laundering Laws. However, this also means that you need to be careful about who you're dealing with.
Ooh. Exactly. It could be Nazis, it could be aliens, or it could be Nephilim penguins.
Make sure that you only trade with people you trust, and always use escrow when possible. Yeah, so
that's some strangely practical advice at the end of this article.
When it comes to trading Bitcoins, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Different people have different needs and preferences, so it's important to find a method that works best for you. In general, though, there are a few things to keep in mind when trading Bitcoins in Antarctica. Okay, there's more things. I don't know. This article's weird. It goes through multiple layers of things. First off, the market is still relatively new and unpredictable. Oh, okay. Second, be sure to choose a reputable exchange. Finally, don't forget to diversify your portfolio. It's like giving financial advice.
Lots of great practical advice here at the end.
Remember, the market is still young and volatile, so it's important to stay informed and be cautious with your investment. With a little bit of care and attention, though, you can certainly find success in this new and exciting market. You know, I thought
Bitcoin, Antarctica.
Bitcoin, I thought it was going to be more about mining, you know, because it takes energy and it gets hot.
Cooling. Cooling is a big problem with mining. Yeah.
And if you can, climate change.
It's about evading the law.
That is the biggest advantage. I think I think we need to get some mining rigs.
Lack of regulation.
Set up over there. And that'll be a little exit strategy.
It's like the sun is out like 24 hours a day for most of the year down there.
Get some solar panels.
Get some
wind turbines to collect the energy. And
you get some free cooling, just throw those ant miners out in the snow.
Negative carbon emissions, and we're ESG compliant, and
that's how you fix climate change.
That's how we do it. And so anyway, what do you think, Basil? You think we can set up some rigs and make it happen?
I don't think we can.
Darn.
I don't think that's in the cards for us.
Maybe we can convince the wife of Mr. Mondak Bakken to do just not a whole, a stay thing, just a trip to, set it up for us on our behalf.
He would just need, Mr. That's Sir Mondak Bakken, by the way. Bakken, He would need to, he just needs to go down maybe like once a quarter to check on the rigs.
Check on the rigs.
Scrape the ice and the penguin poop off of the Bitcoin mining rigs we got down there. Make sure that our solar panels haven't been stolen by the natives, the scientists haven't scrapped our solar panels.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Because I think that's what they eat. I think the solar scientists, or the Antarctican scientists, they eat solar panels, I think.
I did see a crumbled up solar panel on the freeway this morning on the way here.
That's so sad. So sad.
The other thing, and I really have been meaning to bring this story to the show, which we haven't, but no big deal. There was an Ethereum mixer called Tornado Cash that got taken down recently. I think it was the Treasury Department came out and arrested the guy who originally coded, or was part of the team that coded this thing called Tornado Cash, which is basically a place where you go, you can send your Ethereum in there. So you could
certainly use it for money laundering purposes.
So here's what's not genuine about it is the Treasury Department in their whole presser thing came out and said $8 billion have been laundered through this platform. But it's like, no, that's the total amount of money that's been used in Tornado Cash. Certainly bad people have probably used it. But of course, there are totally legit reasons to use something like that as well.
Yeah.
But the implications...
Wasn't it a open source software
it's open source.
too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all these sort of centralized exchanges and stuff, they're all out there and free, these millionaires and billionaires, but the guy who just codes it is arrested.
Right.
And it sets a really bad precedent because I didn't know about this, but apparently in like 1994, there was a court case. I got to get all my notes in front of me. But basically, they determined that code is speech. Do you know about the code of speech thing?
I've heard the term. You're going to need to remind me.
I don't remember the exact case.
It's a free speech thing.
It's a free speech thing.
It's a free speech thing. You can code whatever you want.
Right.
As long as you personally don't break the law.
Right. So now that they're going after Tornado Cash, which is a platform that allows for some kind of laundering. Maybe the guy did do some laundering. Who knows? But it sets a really dangerous precedent because now it's like, any open source project is suddenly, can be shut down or whatever just because some bad people use it. Why don't they use the same standard for the US dollar?
Yeah, it is interesting because, code is speech, meaning free speech, meaning just writing a piece of code that could be used for crime isn't a crime.
Right.
Only when someone uses the code for crime is it then a crime, which is interesting because pretty much the entire hacker community kind of works off of that principle.
Any manufacturer of anything works under that principle.
Right,
you can be a hammer manufacturing and be like, hey, we build hammers. Well, we're going to shut down your hammering factory because you made a hammer that murdered someone. It's ridiculous.
It's the gun control conversation.
Same conversation,
Just to make a gun doesn't mean that a crime will be committed, even though a crime can be committed. Yeah. Anyway. That's weird. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what that has to do with Antarctica. Oh, he should have just gone to Antarctica. Easy out, baby. All right. And with that, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. We're going to be back on Monday. That will be the 22nd.
What's this on my calendar here? Hold on, let me check.
22.
Is
what?
500. Hold on, I can't read what it says on the calendar.
He's getting his Canary Cry calendar out. Oh, by the way, while you do that, the Canary Cry calendar, which is a beloved tradition now in the Canaryverse. I'm telling you, the Canary Cry calendar is already underway. We are preparing it. It will be a part of the fourth quarter supply drop. So if you are one of the many people who loves their Canary Cry calendar and you want to continue receiving the Canary Cry calendar, join the supply drop because that will be in the Q4 canarycrysupply.com. Are you still going?
Earliest recorded sighting of the Loch Ness Monster.
Really? Monday is the earliest recorded sighting of the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, 565, I guess, years maybe. Or days? Years. It's got to be years.
It wouldn't be years. 1500 was the Loch Ness Monster sighting?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's just written in a book. Yeah. They just wrote it in a book. Oh, it's not the picture of the Loch Ness
Monster. No, not the picture. Yeah, that's the hoax.
See, folks, this is why you need the Canary Cry calendar, because you would know that Monday is the first ever recorded sighting of the Loch Ness Monster. That and many more things you'll receive in the Canary Cry calendar in Q4. That's at the end of the year. So just another reason to sign up for the Canary Cry supply drop.
Just a little more facts on that. St. Columba, 565, the earliest report of a monster in the vicinity of Loch Ness, appears in the life of St. Columba by Adomnan, written in the 6th century AD. So that is the year. Wow. 565. So it is 1700 years ago.
Really? Yeah. 17, and we know the date.
1700.
That's right, folks. Monday. Keep that in mind. Yeah. It's the day 1500 years ago. I wonder if that got moved around like Christmas at all or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, there you go. Another reason to join the supply drop, as well as getting your cool bonus gifts that we'll be sending out. You have until September 1st. September 1st. We got to stick to these deadlines because we got manufacturing and stuff to do. So go to canarycrysupply.com. And thank you to our executive producer for today's show, executive producer Hannah G. Thank you very much, Hannah G.
Thank you,
to all of the producers who make this show possible with their time, their talent, or their treasure, including our Clippies.
Clippy on those videos.
Thanks. We might need a clipping all the videos GIF next to play with that beautiful jingle.
Yeah.
Yes, Canary Cry Clippies. They are clipping all the videos. They are putting them up on the Canary Cry Clips channel. They manage that. It is a wonderful, wonderful service that they provide for not just Gonz and I, but for all Canarians out there. Go subscribe to the Canary Cry Clips channel. Thank you to Emsworth and Faye Liverin for your hard work.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
As well as the timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work.
Yep, timestamps go into all sorts of our back-end stuff. It is such a huge job, and it's so important. And that's why we want to thank Jackie Yu for doing the timestamps for last episode.
Thank you, Jackie Yu. Appreciate it.
Did you update that? Are you updating that regularly?
Yes.
Okay.
In the notes, you mean?
Yeah.
I try to have it as part of my to-do list, which
I just want to make sure
grow every episode.
Oh, don't I know it?
Yeah.
We got this new social media jingle.
Social media, a lie.
Social media, blah.
Thank you, Dame Miss G of the OV and the Deep Rivers, for doing our social media, posting the art, doing all sorts of fun stuff there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Go to canarycrymeetups.com.
Canary Cry Meetup.
You know the drill. Go to canarycrymeetups.com. See if there's a meetup near you. There are so many meetups coming up in the next week. See if one is near you, and if there's not, put one on yourself. We'll see you at the meetup.
Ooh, yeah.
Social media.
The wrong button.
See you at the meetup.
It's Friday.
Oh, it is Friday right now, isn't it?
It's a sad predicament.
Is it a sad Friday?
It is a
Another
sad Friday.
sad Friday.
Yeah, I don't know what's going. I'm starting to think that Apple Podcasts
something's going on,
is
right?
holding us. Yeah, I think they're like batching, and they got a little eye of Sauron on this podcast, and they're like, I don't know about these.
Yeah, that's too.
Here.
Let me see. I'm getting the numbers right now. Let's see. Has it changed since Monday?
I don't think so.
No, it has not changed. Okay, let me go into the source code here, do a little hacker doodles. Let me see if there's anything that it's not showing us. Is there anything you're not showing us? Yeah, because if that's true, that means we've had 2 reviews in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 whole weeks. That is not good.
Well, actually, 3 in 3 weeks, maybe, right?
We had a few at the very beginning.
You're right. The first we had a couple. Okay.
On the first we had
2 in 2 weeks.
Couple. Yeah, so 2 in 2 weeks is really sad. But you know what? You know who's making me a little bit happier? It's Ghosternaut.
Ghosternaut.
Yeah. Ghosternaut comes in from the U.S., of course, 5 stars. It's your boy Ghosternaut, it says. Basil and Gonz were originally assigned to me by my Illuminati supervisor, Bill Gates. I've been observing them for a while now, and to my dismay, their witty antics and shenanigans have sundered my hardened exterior, and now I'm an avid fan/producer. Such an amazing show. Love those guys. Wow. Well, see, folks.
Thank you.
With the power of podcasting, we rescued Ghosternaut from the clutches of his Illuminati supervisor.
Maybe
Bill
it's
Gates.
reviews like that get flagged, you know? Like, wait a minute, what is going on with this show?
Yeah, I don't know. I like it, though. I don't want it to stop. I cannot believe that nobody even took up the challenge to continue the story from Chad to Chad.
Yeah, I know. We got to get to 1,000 ratings and reviews here. We are 685.
I know.
We've stuck there for so long.
We're at 797 worldwide, but yeah, we need to get that up. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to encourage people to do this.
We need to do like a tutorial walkthrough and serious pressuring situation, live on the show. We'll do a whole segment where we just pressure people to do it.
We'll pause the show and we'll do a walkthrough and we'll say we are not continuing the show until we get 5 reviews. I'm waiting. If you guys don't do it, the show we will sit here in silence until you leave ratings and reviews. Yeah, I don't know what to do, man. Yeah. So, anyways, I could say the same thing that I say every episode, but I don't think it's going to work. So I will say this. If anybody has any idea how we can encourage, I think some people are not leaving a rating and review just to mess with me is what it is. Starting to take it personally, which I shouldn't do. And I'm very good at not doing. My 10 years of doing what I do has given me a very hardened exterior towards unneeded criticism, but I'm starting to take this pretty personally.
I gotta say, maybe the whole thing, continue the story and that whole thing was a little too intimidating for people.
Might be a little much. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep moving. Please do it. We need it. We need it. It's bad for it. Not only is it really good for us when you do it, it's like actively bad for us to not get reviews. So please leave ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts. That's all I gotta say. Let's keep moving. Thank you, Jam, for the links.
Jam. And, thank you, Jam. Appreciate all that work.
Other than that, share the show or whatever, or don't. I don't even care anymore. Share it with your friends, your family.
No, you've been defeated. You are.
Oh no!
You've
run out
your
of
mojo.
Basil juice. I need my mojo back. I won't get my mojo back until we get 5 or more reviews on Apple Podcasts. You can share the show however you want. Share it on social media. Share the clips from the Clip channel. That's a really great way to do it. Just tell your pastor. Tell your mom. Tell everybody about the show. Everybody wants the show, but nobody knows about the show. This is a weird situation. And without the reviews, nobody will even know what to think about the show when they look it up. But you can do it however you want. You don't have to listen to me. You can go ahead and get yourself a bunch of cows. Why not? Go out there, get a bunch of cows. Probably pay for them legally, get some cows, or maybe if you find some wild cows, I don't even know if that's a thing. But if you go find some wild cows, start cattle ranching, man. We need more cows in this world. And get those cows. And here's the thing, start your own ground beef brand and use utmost safety precautions so you don't spread E. coli. And go ahead and stick a little sticker on there that says FDA approved, E. coli free. And go check out Canary Cry News Talk on your podcast player. It's a good podcast. Nobody has utilized ground beef packaging to market their podcast yet, and I think this might be the answer. We may have stumbled upon the answer to finally help the world with some quality mainstream news analysis and deconstruction. Little stickers. You know what? You don't even have to buy the cows or package the beef. Just get some stickers. Go to the grocery store. Stick them on the beef. Nobody's going to tell you not to stick a sticker on the beef. That's just one way you can do it. You don't have to do it that way. Do it however you want. But we like to call it rattling cages. If you need any more instructions, here's what you do. You walk right up to them, you grab them by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Gons, any last words?
Yeah, Noah.
No, leave ratings and reviews. That's my last words.
If you don't leave ratings and reviews, what's going to happen?
Who knows? We won't even know.
Ask Noah.
Ask Noah. You want to know what happens when we stop getting ratings and reviews? Yeah, ever heard of Noah? Ask him what happens.
And we're not talking about the flood. We're talking about what happened after the flood in the tent.
Oh, jeez.
That's right.
You really look. If you want to understand, if you want to understand just how inappropriate that was for Gons to say, you're going to have to go read your Bible, folks.
Go study your Bible. You'll figure out what I'm talking about.
Study your Bible. That's a deep cut for some people. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cave.
Die.
This is the way.
We will hunt you down and make you pay.
I love the Great Reset.
Feed him more.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
Cosmos, children in the space lane.
I'm an adult in a spaceship.
Supersonic space lane screamed to life and the vehicle swooped upward. On board, the passengers experienced a 3 G's of force from the burst of extreme acceleration and watched the blue sky fade into space.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Oh, yeah.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Yes. Do it, Richard. Do it, Jeff. Do it for humanity.
To all you kids down there, I was once a child with a dream. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship.
He can accomplish it. You can too. Big windows, cool. Rocket ship, cool. Space plane, cool.
Nukes,
cool.
Blowing stuff up,
cool. Space plane, astronaut, rocket ship.
Previous anchor.
We have Bezos. He's a human. Just look at him. Go to the bathroom in bags. He can go to the bathroom in the cosmos. It changed everything. Wives in space, children in the cosmos, with your best friend brother. Wives in the cosmos, children in the space lane.
We are headed to space.
You little rascal. I am so hot.
You're so hot.
I'm... God. I am so hot. So hot.
He's a Satanist from one of the Satanist churches here where they sacrifice babies.
Spread the clouds across the sky and made it rain.
CanaryCrimeRadio.com/support.